Welcome everybody to our latest session of the Rise of Tiamat. We will, as usual, do a quick recap of what occurred last week, and then we will get started. So team, you'll likely recall when we picked up last week, you guys had just culminated this very large battle with Chuth, the large green dragon. You had barely rescued Gale as he was in much danger of drowning. And so you guys decided to beat a quick retreat and get in some rest nearby, spending an hour there outside, a little ways outside of where you know this lair to be, and recovered some of your wounds, with Gale showing a markedly improvement over his nearly unconscious self, or unconscious self really, from all the damage he had took before he had plunged into the pond there. With all of that complete, the team, after they got a little bit of their bearings and were chatting with one another about what their plans were to move forward, Gale decided that he would do a bit of a reconnaissance around this area to give the team some understanding of sort of the scouting around, that kind of thing, make sure there was no threats right nearby. He had mentioned to the team that he had seen some of these strange flashes of light and thought he had heard some odd singing, perhaps in a strange voice. So the team decided that rather than potentially have enemies behind them and in front of them, they were going to go back a bit and check this area out and see what they could discover, see if there was any threat there. So as the team started making their way back through the misty forest, a very short distance away from the entrance of the lair, they found themselves in a large section of the forest, and as they started making their way to the west, they spotted one of these interesting lights effects, and they also then realized that they were pretty quickly in the midst of other individuals. They could hear the sound of a bit of movement here and there, so people were trying to be quiet but not so good at it. The team quickly found themselves under attack by agents of the Cult of the Worm, pretty obvious based on their attire. The team was struck out by several of these cultists, and in particular there was a half-blue dragon who seemed to be a very capable warrior that was taking the pain to the team. During this same time, unbeknownst to the team, a recent arrival to the area, Nezra, had stopped by an Altan trying to get access to the village there, but was turned away after the village had recently suffered an attack by a large green dragon. They didn't have much of an appetite for allowing a green dragonborn among them, even though if you know much about the racial histories of those two species, it's very much different, but unfortunately mortals, being what they are, tend to draw connections maybe even when there isn't one. So Nezra was here by the pond doing some fishing and was doing pretty well with his catch, when he also started noticing that there were forms around him, as the cultists seemed to be spread out in the forest as though they themselves were searching for somebody. And we found ourselves in a very lengthy battle. So this was a very wide-ranging battle, as we had a lot of space, ton of trees, a lot of places to go. The team on the east side was engaged with these cultists and were doing what they could to fight back against them, though obviously suffering some wounds here and there. They also learned that at least some of these cultists had the magical ability to fly without wings, so they would simply just jump into the air and fly to a position somewhat nearby. So this was some new knowledge that the team learned. On the west side, Nezra seemingly was more agitated than anything else as these cultists came close. At first, they weren't really much sure what to make of him, but after a bit of conversation back and forth and him trying to use some magic to perhaps intimidate or scare the cultists off, more cultists then came forward to recognize him as a threat and engaged him in combat. During this time, he was able to use a powerful spell of Insect Plague, which was able to defeat most of the opponents that were here. One of them did manage to flee, and from there, after hearing the sounds of much battle coming from his east, Nezra used a tree stride spell that would allow him to step into a tree and then appear elsewhere. So it took him a little bit of time to get over to the group. But yes, eventually the group noticed this green dragonborn sort of pop in. They were probably very nervous and cautious at first, but when he began fighting the remaining cultists that were attacking them, they probably assumed that he was on their side. So once the team was able to defeat the remaining cultists, then introductions were done, and Nezra explained that he was here sort of on like a hunt, perhaps. The team learned a little bit about Nezra, particularly his deity, the god of the hunt, and got to know him a bit, and ultimately decided to work with him, as they explained that there was this dangerous situation just to the east where they had suffered some a casualty and suffered some wounds at the hands of these cultists, and that at least one of their friends was, or one of their acquaintances, I should say, was the exact status of his whereabouts was unknown. So the team then decided to make their way back to the lair. It was right about this time that we saw one of those flashes of light, and suddenly Harmony appeared. She had made her way from Altan to head over and rejoin the group, and seeing these, what she determined to be fairy lights, and I think somebody else on the team determined this as well, and knowing that they can be used for short bits of teleportation, used one of them and found herself real close to the group. So after the group sort of ransacked the belongings of the cultists, seeing if there was anything interesting that they had among them, they then started making their way back to the east over to the lair. Once they got towards the lair, they were very cautious, knowing that they had previously been attacked by Chuth when he popped out of the pond, and then used a breath weapon, I should say, on the team, damaging them for some quite a bit of damage. The team then made their way across the pond, or nearby this pond, and climbed up the side that they had done once before with the intention of getting to the top, and then using a grappling hook to rappel down to the tunnel mouth and gain access inside. I believe it was Harmony used one of her abilities to conjure a familiar, a wild animal, and send it flying over to scout the area out, and it was able to report back to her that there were lights affixed to the tunnel walls now, and these lights were not there before. So you had this creation of light, and this obviously was intentionally done so that people would be able to spot anybody coming in. Whether the cult knew that the team was coming in or not, it's hard to say, but it is pretty difficult to rappel down the side of the mountain making absolutely zero sound, so it seems pretty likely that they were at least somewhat aware that the team was approaching. As the team made their way in and started getting a lay of the land, they came under attack with some arrows firing at them from the southeast. So where all the lights were put, it was conveniently, or you could say strategically done, so that the lights would illuminate the party as they entered, but not illuminate the enemies down below. Nezra, I can't remember if he fell or intentionally slid, but one way or the other, he did.
No, he fell. He fell. He didn't do the Rasmus slip and slide. He just fell.
Okay, so yes, as he slipped there, he took his way down, slamming against the wall, and quickly found himself plunged into some water. He did emerge out of the water then and quickly conjure a wind wall around him to try to buffet him from any additional ranged attacks. Very scary situation, as he couldn't see in the dark and had no light source, so he essentially is surrounded by, eventually what he learned was a lot of opponents that can see in the dark, and he was sort of there on his own. The other team members started making their way down. Kurtu also, I believe, slipped. I'm sure Kurtu didn't intentionally slide down. So after he slipped, slid down, hit himself, he actually ran into the wind wall, and there was a little bit of fun debate there about what exactly would happen. But we put it to a die roll, and it was essentially he just slammed into the wind wall and stayed there. During this time, Kurtu did try to cast a fireball to scorch a lot of these archers, and when he tried to do so, he found that his spell was actually counterspelled. So there is obviously a spellcaster down here, though nobody has spotted a spellcaster yet. So just a good reminder there for all of you. So yeah, that occurred, and then Hugo also made his way down, and once he was down below, he pretty quickly came under attack from the Ettins, who joined the battle. So we have a bunch of elf archers, the Ettins, and this mysterious spellcaster all around as the team is currently engaged in combat with them. So that's a high-level overview of where we left off. I think we only got through maybe one round of battle down here, maybe two. Yeah, looks like two. It's saying round 3 on my tracker. So yeah, looks like we've got 2 rounds under our belt. We'll pick up from there and see where this goes. But that's my recap, team. Is there anything I missed that anybody would like to add?
I don't remember 100% what exactly the guy said, but I'm gonna take a guess at it if my memory serves me. But after we fought the cultists in the woods, there was a couple that survived, it seems like, or maybe they realized they were outnumbered at that point or something, and they took off. But when they took off, they shouted, I think it was, "She has risen," or she will rise." So, there's more cultists in the woods, and they probably have our faces now, and they have a little bit better description of us, which we may need to think about in the future, because I know we've been trying to be sneaky about going against the cult.
Yes, good addition. Go ahead and take inspiration there, Nezra. Indeed, yes. Well, at least one of the cultists survived, and Nezra will probably remember one of them escaped his spell and was not slain by it and got away. So that could be the one, or maybe there was more than one. But yes, the cult is definitely aware of the party, you could say. How much information they have, hard to say exactly. But yes, at least one survivor, so definitely more than none. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add?
Adam, this is not worth inspiration. I get it, but just as a reminder, I do have a truce with Nezra at this time, to be determined.
Yeah, I gave him a fish. We're cool now.
Yes, a little bit of early begrudging start between the two of them, as Nezra sort of seemed to imply that he might hunt metallic dragons, I think it was. And yeah, Kurtu was not about that at all, especially when it comes to gold dragons. So
That's right, that's right.
Excellent. Yeah, anybody else have anything they want to throw in?
So I stepped away for a minute, but that secret door was no longer there, or was it blocked in the recap or something? We weren't able to use that. And I think also by the Ettins, there's a damaged wall that was noted by the Ettins there where Hugo is. So I think that's where our friend Zeno went to.
Good point.
Shifted. So I think he's been defeated in that wall.
Yes, good addition for the guy that wasn't even here last week and watched the recording. Awesome job. Yes, go ahead and take inspiration there, Gale. So indeed, the secret door is closed when you guys came back in. So you're not, you know it's there now, but can you open it from the side? Nobody's tried. And yes, indeed, there was a bunch of rubble nearby the wall where Zeno had previously cast a spell and merged into the stone.
Yeah, I was inching my way over to that wall, but decided to strategically slide down instead.
Love it. All right. Well, if that is it, let's go ahead and get us back in. Gale, go ahead and give me a blind check. This is going to represent your efforts of how close by you are or how long it's going to take you. Okay, so what I will say is you rolled absolutely terribly there. So would you like to use your inspiration or anything to make it?
I don't know. Maybe I'll just clean up the bodies when they're all down the hit
that
the
might
floor.
Be a smart. Yeah, that might be a smart call.
We can't TPK if Gale never joins the fight.
Haha, got you, Adam.
Oh, that's funny.
Checkmate.
Fine, I'll burn my inspiration.
Brian gets lost on the way there, and he goes. He finds his way in Icewind Dale.
Right when I went to re-roll, Adam, you flipped it, so I wait for my token.
Oh, no worries at all. I'm going to use your second roll that you already rolled. So you had a blind check. You're the first one, and then the second one was your other roll, or the advantage roll, you might say. So I'm just going to take that one. Luckily for you, that was a nat 20. So I'm going to say that in your scouting in this area, you probably even saw the team maybe at a great distance, but you were not able to communicate with them from so far away. So maybe, they were quite a ways away, but just maybe seeing some like telltale signs, rocks falling, that kind of thing. You were pretty obvious where they were. So I'm going to put you at the top where the grappling hook is currently hanging down. So basically you're looking over the edge at the moment, looking down, and that's where we're going to start you.
Excellent.
Okay, so with that out of the way, I am going to throw Gale into initiative real quick. Gale, I'm going to put you in this spot, but like I say, you're not quite here yet. You're at the top, so I will add you to initiative, though. Okay, excellent. And then we will go ahead and get started right after I put on some more up-tempo music. I feel like I always pick the same tracks. Let's try something a little bit different this time.
Yeah, throw in some 80s jams.
Dun, dun, da, 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 da.
Not the walk or the march. Goodness.
Unfortunately, I am limited to royalty-free music if I want to keep the YouTube things going. So here's what we got. Okay, so we are at the top of the round with Spectre.
All right. I'm reacquainting myself with the map here. It looks to me as though I am in a position where if a big, dumb, clumsy elf comes sliding down this ramp, he's not going to take me out.
Unless he
So-
intentionally dies for you, you're pretty confident.
Remembering what happened the last time we were here on round 3 exactly, I think I'm going to stay up here for this round. And, let's see. Yeah, I can't see any of the Ettins. So, that guy back there is 80 feet from me. I guess I'll start with the guy in front. That makes the most sense, right? So, I am going to shoot this guy.
Okay.
These guys remind me, I don't remember. These guys are just like regular elves. They're not like dressed in cult regalia or anything.
Correct. They are wearing like commoner kind of clothing. They have long bows, quivers with arrows, and like a club at their side. They have no other attire that would mark them as being members of the cult. And I would say, just from your vast experience, you assume these people are not trained in the ways of combat.
If you're trying to guilt the demon into not taking the easy kills, it's not gonna work.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. So I'm gonna shoot him because they're shooting at us. So all's fair in war. So here comes the first shot.
That
23.
will certainly hit.
4-7.
And yes, that will kill him as he takes the arrow in the chest and collapses.
Yep. And then I'm gonna. That guy's 80 feet from me, so this guy here, the top of the little S curve, is taking the second one.
Okay.
Come on, there we go. 22
Yes, that will certainly connect.
for 8.
And he is also slain.
And then I will call down to them. When we spoke to the ones at the top the last time we came in here, they did not speak common, correct?
They never spoke to you in common, correct?
Did we attempt to? Or was it only Gale who was talking?
I think
To them in
somebody
Elvish.
maybe spoke to them in common and they replied in Elvish. Whether that means they don't speak common or they're just more comfortable speaking in Elvish, hard to say.
Then I will call down to them in common. I won't kill anyone else who drops their weapon, but I'm not gonna ask again.
So you shout this down like the 80 feet or so, but in the chaotic environment of Ettins swinging around and people firing and moving and all that, you're not confident at all that anybody even heard you.
Whatever. I gave him one chance. It's up to them.
Magnanimous.
All right, there's one of those $4 words we're breaking out. I like it. All right, this Ettin is going to move up as he looks towards Hugo next to him here. And actually, this is the female Ettin, so she will attack Hugo with both her battle axe and her morning star. So, Hugo, I'm going to go ahead and roll a couple of defense rolls for you.
Not bad, Hugo. 23 and
Good
20.
job, Hugo.
The Ettin will miss Hugo on both of those attacks.
I don't like this darkness behind me.
Okay, coming down this slight slope to get to here, this cultist will notice that Kurtu is currently prone up against the wind wall and will step over to take advantage of that fact. Once he gets to here, he is going to slash out with his scimitar, and Kurtu, I'll need a defense roll at disadvantage, please. this.
Adam, can we have that at advantage, please? I'd rather have an advantage on that one.
I'll give it to you because it hits anyway, so sure. But yeah, so as the blade cuts into you here, Kurtu, you are going to take 15 points of slashing damage, and then he will follow that up with a second attack. I'll need another defense roll at disadvantage. Oh, nice. Okay.
Wow. I'll take that one, please. Either
I'll give you
one.
that one advantage also. Yeah, you roll out of that one, suffering no wounds. Okay, Nezra, you are currently in the middle of your wind wall. You can hear the sound of the wind buffeting you all around. What would you like to do?
Yes, I can hear it buffeting all around me. And then I saw this dude come up and stab my new friend. I did not like that, but I'm going to try to step away anyways and stick to the plan I had. So I know that may incur an attack of opportunity.
Okay, now the wind wall, can you just move right through it?
Here, let me post it. It's really based for projectiles, fog, smoke, and gases and things like that. It really doesn't do much for melee attacks or people moving in and out of it.
Okay, it says small or smaller flying creatures, or I just can't. Yeah, okay, makes sense. So I would say you step through it. It's probably a little bit of a very strange feeling as you're forcing yourself through this wind wall, but yeah, you can do so.
Cool. Does a guy take an attack of opportunity? Do I need a defense roll?
I'm going to say no because he doesn't want to try to swing through the wind wall.
Okay, cool. And Nezra's going to open his mouth, and he is going to projectile vomit his breath weapon in a straight line.
Nice.
He really doesn't care about these elves being nice or not. He's just going to kill them if he can. So we're going to go here. Let me 30-foot line, just straight down.
Nice.
Okay, and I don't know, did we build in I thought
We
I built
did,
in
yes.
a save for you on that one.
We did. I think I clicked what you had for me. The DC 15, breath weapon 13. That's what I just clicked. It took away one.
Okay, yeah, it looks like we don't have the effect roll in there. Just throw me 3 d20s real quick. We'll build that in here momentarily. Okay, so 20, 12, and 3. So the first and second will both fail, take that full damage, and you see them grasp at their throats as the poison just enters them, and they just start expiring right away as they collapse to the ground. The third will make his save, suffering half of that damage, and surprisingly, live.
All right. I cannot see Kurtu, but I did hear him squeak when he got stabbed. So
you probably
I will...
would have seen me go into your wind wall there if you were there too.
So he doesn't have any dark vision or anything, so unless there's light somewhere, he can't see anything.
Yeah, the range of the dark vision takes... I can see like 1/8 of your token, but I do not need to see... Oh, yep. Yes, I do. Never mind. Well, I guess if I can see...
Based on what I'm seeing out of your token, I'm going to say you definitely cannot see him.
Okay, alright, cool. And never mind Kurtu, because the spell says I must see you. So, Nezra is going to move towards this way, so he's more in the light. Let's stay right there and end its turn.
Okay, this one's turn. We'll move to here and take a shot at Hugo. So here comes a defense roll for Hugo. Hugo evades that pretty easily. And Kurtu, we have your turn, currently prone, up against the wind wall.
So Kurtu gets up, using the wind wall to help project him up quickly. Don't know what that means, but I'm just doing it.
Sounds cool, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, I'm going to move over here. Adam, can you describe the slope? I mean, is it realistic if would I be able to try to get out of this area if I did a disengage type thing?
Yeah, so the slope won't impact your movement at all until you pass that red rectangle. So if you go to the red rectangle, no worries. If you go past it, you just stood up, so that was 15 feet of movement, and then you took a 10 foot so far, so that's 25. So if you disengage, unless you've got other movement to use, you're probably gonna get one space.
All right, Adam, I want to try a thing that I was thinking about that I don't know how to rule on this one here. So knowing that there's a counterspell guy up somewhere around, I would like to try to do a deception that I'm going to be casting Cone of Cold.
I will say you're pretty confident that the motions that you make to cast a spell are just part of it. It's sort of like the uttering of the spell. You start to see like the flakes of magic coming together. So unless you had some magical way of faking the magic, you're pretty confident that's not going to fool anybody.
All right, yeah, I thought maybe that would be kind of a cool thing to do, but
yeah. So the way counterspell is worded is like when you cast a spell. So literally, if you're not casting a spell, they can't even trigger it. So I get what you're going for, like deceive them and try to fake like you're casting a spell. But I think the way it's intended is that it's really difficult to fake casting a spell.
Yeah. Okay. So I am going to then I'll try to do I'd like to use a Misty Step to actually get over to this side.
So you're casting the Misty Step spell?
Yes.
Okay.
He's thinking about whether he wants to counterspell you again.
No, I had to look and see where the spellcaster was in initiative. Your spell goes off.
All right. Do I need to make any form of a check or anything like that?
If you're not moving, no. If you're going to start moving, then yes.
All right. Then what I'm going to do then is I'm going to quicken spell for to cast a firebolt, of course.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and burn that.
And I'm going to go after my new friend here.
Okay.
Because he makes me, afraid. So.
Nezra cheers you on.
That will connect. Yes, the firebolt smacks into his side and burns him to a crisp.
Good shot.
Buffy, you're lucky I'm ending my turn here because I have nothing else to do.
Okay, so before that one's turn...
Oh no.
Crap. I hate it when you say that, Adam.
What? It's supposed to build the suspense.
Yeah. The suspense is like knowing you gotta go to like a really bad dentist appointment.
Okay, Kurtu, you will hear the sound of words being incanted from this location. It's hard to pinpoint them exactly. Definitely somewhere to your southeast, but you don't know precisely where. You don't see anything is the key here, but these words sound very, very familiar, and you notice a small bead flies through the air all the way up to Spectre and Harmony, where it suddenly explodes in a ball of fire. And I'll need dexterity saving throws from Spectre and Harmony. I'll go ahead and throw Harmony's.
Let me see something real quick.
Adam, where did you say the noise was coming from?
Somewhere to your southeast, but it's hard to pinpoint.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm gonna go ahead and absorb elements as a reaction.
Okay.
Post that. And then... Dex save, right? This is Fireball?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my god, roll 20, please.
So Harmony will fail her save and take 22 points of fire damage. Spectre, you will fail your save and take 20, half down to 10 for absorb elements.
Yep.
Okay, then this one's turn. Yeah, he is not liking where he's at the moment. So he's going to step over to here and fire a shot at Nezra. Nezra, defense roll, please. You will evade that pretty easily. Okay, Hugo's turn. Marching orders from Hugo is to use cantrip. So I think he typically uses Toll the Dead. So he will Toll the Dead on the creature just next to him here.
Yeah, does he have Shocking Grasp by chance, Adam?
I have no clue. No, I don't see that.
Okay.
Alright, so here comes a Toll.
No, I don't think he does.
Oh, hey bud, we can hear you.
That will definitely hit the creature as you notice this female Etten, the necrotic energy spreads through her, wounding her. Okay, Gale, we move up to you. You're currently up above, looking down over towards the mouth, and you see this rope hanging down from the grappling hook, which is secured against a rock.
Finally! This was the last moment I remember before I took the plunge and was saved by an orca. I'll do it again.
Saved by an orca.
At least that's what they told me. Alright, so I will grab rope firmly and try to climb down very, very gallantly.
Alright, so you will likely remember that it takes you 40 feet of movement to get down below. As you're climbing, so that's half speed, so you can move 30 and then dash another 10 to get you down there, spending a total of 40 and have 20 left if you like.
That's what I'll do.
Alright, so now you're truly where you are out of the map with 20 feet of movement left.
Excellent. So I'm sorry, I wasn't pressing the button. The only thing that's sort of I need to worry about is past the square. This isn't like wet squares where I'm at or anything, right?
It is, but you remember being here before. It didn't seem like it had any real risk of like slipping real bad.
Alright, so there's my 20 feet of movement left. And that's my action. I no longer can phase step. I didn't. Yeah, I can't take a potion either because I dashed. Okay, excellent. I will end my turn. Or I can action surge, take a potion. Just kidding.
That would be an interesting use of action, sir. Okay, this one's turn. He is wounded, and he is going to start moving. Okay, this one's turn. She is going to shoot over towards Nezra. Nezra, defense roll. Yes, you'll manage to evade that one. Alright, Harmony's turn. I heard she wants to conjure a giant spider using her Staff of Spiders. So she will produce the Staff of Spiders, lift it up high, shake it, rattle it, and roll it, and conjure up a giant spider probably a little ways away from her, so it will appear there. It will act on her turn, so as it appears...
Sees a delicious kobold right next to it.
Well, unfortunately, it follows her command, so I don't think she's going to tell that. But she will ask it to make its way down. She can see that Etten there, so she will send it after the Etten, and it will move along the floor here, having no risk of falling, as it is quite nimble on those 8 legs. Once it gets to there, it will take a bite at the Etten. The Etten will be hit. Alright, so that's 10 piercing, and then a save from the creature, which normally would be the other way, but because this is NPC on NPC action, I'm just going to roll that save. yes, he does manage to succeed on that, so he'll take half of that, so a total of 15 points of damage. Alright, so that was Harmony's action, and we will then move to this one. Okay, Nezra, you are shot by an unseen opponent. I'll need a defense roll at disadvantage. This manages to hit you for 9 points of piercing damage. Another attack at disadvantage there, Nezra. This one you manage to evade as you see it coming at the last moment. And another still, Nezra. You evade that one as well.
So much better AC than Rasmus had. Every time Rasmus got hit, I was nervous.
And another still, Nezra.
No, I just jinxed myself.
You will get hit by that one. For 8 points of piercing.
Oh, there goes the wind wall. Well, I mean, I wasn't in it.
Alright, lose concentration on the wind wall and it vanishes. Okay, we move to this one's turn. It is going to step up, and it saw how easily Hugo was able to block or evade the first Ettin's attacks. So this Ettin is actually going to try to shove Hugo to the ground. So I'm going to make a check for Hugo to see if he can resist. His athletics is higher, so we'll roll that. Unfortunately, he does not resist that, so Hugo gets pushed prone. And now it will take an attack at advantage on Hugo with its battle axe. So here's a disadvantage defense roll. Oh, wrong one.
-6. I was like, gosh.
Yeah, that's the NPC one, so it's a different value it's referencing. But yes, he will get struck by that attack. Alright, and from that attack, he will take 14 points of slashing damage. Alright, this one's turn. Nezra, another attack at disadvantage. You will manage to evade that one as well. Okay, we move to the top of round 4 with Spectre.
Okay. I think we're doing okay. All the elves I can see are dead, right? That's the red X's.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Well, I see an Ettin. I see an injured Ettin, and I see an allied spider right next to it. So I am going to actually use one of my features before we all die that I got from the last level up, and I am going to sacrifice my movement this turn to use steady aim, giving myself advantage on this shot.
Okay.
So, 19.
Yes, that will hit.
Or 15.
The Ettin is wounded as the arrow grazes her shoulder.
Second shot. As soon as Roll20 loads for me. Gonna miss, probably.
Does steady aim only affect the next shot?
It's only one, yeah.
Next attack
I
roll,
think.
okay.
Yeah.
So, yes, that will indeed miss.
Okay, and I sacked my movement, so that's all I got.
Okay, moving to the female Ettin, she now notices Hugo prone and decides to take advantage of that, so she will lash out at him with 2 attacks, both a battle axe and a morning star. So here comes 2 defense rolls at disadvantage. He will get hit by both of those. For a total of 29 points of damage. Okay, Nezra, your turn.
My turn, huh? Okay, well, Hugo's looking rough. Nezra is not a healer. Alright, let's go here. And Nezra is going to use a bonus action to zap Hugo with a healing word. And his healing word is don't be a bitch.
Okay. So let's see, casted it at level 4.
Yep, I tried to upcast it just so he'd have a little bit of a beefier. That's 14. It's like one hit of that morning star.
Alright, that has been applied to him.
Perfect. And then after he finishes his bitch, he says, "Don't be a bitch!" And he does like a Super Saiyan power up, and he's going to Word of Radiance.
Auto fails, no anime in my games. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
All
I
right.
played a cat girl for like 20 sessions.
I know, I give you a pass, Jordan.
Hell
So-
yeah.
Alright, so let's see. Give me 2 spell effect rolls, please. Okay, so the first one will not be affected. The second will, taking the 9 radiant damage.
Okie dokie. So that was 5, 10, 15, 20. That's kind of risky. Sorry, I'm calculating risk in my head. Okay. I'm gonna try something at him. I'm gonna try to see if I can get these dumb Ettins to burn their reaction, so maybe my buddy Hugo can run the hell up out of there. So Nezra's gonna retreat backwards.
You will draw both of them, so yes, give me 2 defense rolls.
Here we go, here we go. Big money, big money.
The first will strike you, but you will evade the second.
Can I do advantage on the first? Sorry, I was trying to be quick.
For how would you do advantage?
I have an inspiration.
You could do a reroll if you like.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, go
All right,
ahead
let's-
and roll another defense roll.
Alright, here we go. Pow. Dang it, the literal same thing. Oh.
Yep, so unfortunately no good there, but you will take that 9 slashing damage.
No worries. And now that like they swung at me and their backs turned to Hugo, I like point at him and say, "Run away!"
Okay, this one's turn. Nezra, another defense roll at disadvantage. You will be struck by that one for 6 points of piercing. Alright, and then we are to Kurtu.
All right, I am out of sorcery points, just to let you know. But this poor ugly Etten here, no judgment, except she's ugly, and I'm gonna hit with a firebolt.
You will indeed hit her with a firebolt,
14.
which will scorch her. And she roars in pain from the fire. Nezra, what kind of armor are you wearing?
Oh, no.
The metal
Not metal,
kind.
not metal.
Yeah, the metal kind for sure. And he's got a metal weapon,
Metal
or
kind
he's
that's
got a
made of
metal
dirt.
shield.
Okay, you hear the sound of movement nearby you, and then suddenly you hear the sound of incanting as you feel electricity start to reach out towards you. I'll need a defense roll at disadvantage.
Okie dokie. You said electricity?
Yes.
Wow.
I know, it's killing my immersion.
What lightning, I get it.
All right, you hear the sound perhaps just a moment fast enough that allows you to take a side step away, and you feel just like this whiff of air nearby you.
Phew.
All right, Nezra, another defense roll at disadvantage.
I was like, man, I can still see him.
That one you will evade. All right.
Hey Adam, I got a question. If they're shooting from afar and he's prone, doesn't that even it out anyway?
If they were shooting at Hugo, yes, but they're shooting at Nezra.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Yep, yeah, no worries. All right, so we move to Hugo's turn here. Let me see what he's got left.
He's not going to listen to my instructions to run away.
Well, I was trying to see if he had like a Misty Step left, and that would really help him run away, but he is literally tapped out with 0 spells remaining. So, he will stand from prone. That will spend half his movement. He will then use his action to disengage, move.
He doesn't need to disengage.
Yeah.
Right, because he would know that. Yeah, okay, good call. So he'll move 5, 10, and then he would have 5 left, and then he's going to dash, but move dashing carefully. So he'll move at half speed with the intention of getting a little ways out of here. He's going to hope to get there, but I'm going to make a check for him real quick.
Oh, he took his light with him.
Yeah, since he's moving carefully, he is able to do so. All right, and then we get to Gale's turn.
Excellent. So now I will move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to there. Now I want to try at least to get half of this done carefully, rather than just YOLO from the very top. So I'd like
Play
to.
smart since Hugo is now gonna eat shit.
Yeah, I see now what's going on. Yeah, he's right on my path. So I'm gonna attempt to go. I have 5 more feet of movement, but I want to go half speed. So I don't think
You
I
would
can
basically
move
just
up.
lose that 5. But yep, go
Okay.
ahead and give me a blind check, and then tell me where you're trying to move to.
You could get a lot of movement in a moment.
So I'm gonna go half speed. So I'm just gonna go straight down 5, 10, 15.
You're able to do so without any issue.
Excellent. Movement, action.
Hi, Gale.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, Adam, I know.
I don't know what you're talking about. But no, give me a defense roll at disadvantage. Unless that's what you're talking about. But that wasn't that guy's turn. This was this turn. You will manage to evade that one. All right. Let's see. Harmony.
Is it a
On the
bonus
back
action to
heel.
command the spider, Adam? Or does it have its
No.
own initiative?
It always acts on her turn, and it just does what she asks it to. So it doesn't require.
Oh, that's
action.
nice.
Yeah.
She's got 3 people in her unicorn.
That's what I was just double checking. Yeah, remember, I'm not an expert on all the characters, unfortunately. So give me just one.
Come
moment.
on, Adam.
I know.
Come
I'm
on.
telling you.
We expect so much of you.
So if I remember correctly, I think she does. Oh yeah, she does. So if she was to cast Healing Word on someone, that would get somebody and then all of them. So I think what she'll do is move the unicorn first, so that Nezra doesn't get. No, I'm kidding. She'll move it to there, and then she'll move carefully. She'll cast the spell first, and then she's going to move carefully just in case she falls. So, okay, this will be on, I'm going to say Hugo. Okay, so Hugo will get 9 back. Alright, and then the way the unicorn works, I believe everybody in there gets her druid level,
Yes, sounds right to me.
which would be 3. So Nezra, Kurtu, and Hugo get 3. Okay, so that's her bonus action. Then she's going to move carefully and try to get to there. She's able to do so. And then she's going to dash to get to there so that she's in her own zone for future healing. Alright, this one's turn.
She commanded the spider to attack the Etten too, didn't she?
She did, of course she did that, yeah. And here comes the spider's attack. The spider will hit. They will succeed on the save, so take only half of that, so 10. Alright, so after the spider bites at the Etten, we move down to another archer's turn. Nezra, yes, you're going to be shot at advantage, so disadvantage defense roll, please. You'll manage to evade
Nice.
that.
Good.
And then another one, Nezra.
Less good.
That one will manage to hit you. That'll be 6 points of piercing. And then another one, Nezra.
Law of averages here.
You will manage to evade that one. And then another one, Nezra. That one will manage to hit you. That'll be 6. Alright, this guy's turn. Well, unfortunately, Nezra, he sees you. So he's going
Is
to
he
get
not
over
at all
there.
concerned about the big spider mauling his...
He can't
wife?
get to the spider.
It's the different. It's the
Don't
other
assume
Etten.
his
There's 2 of them.
relationship. But yeah, unfortunately, this Etten cannot get to the spider easily. So he is going to go after Nezra. So Nezra, checking your vision real quick.
I can see one of his heads.
I'm gonna say you cannot see this well enough to defend yourself because you can. Yeah, you're basically seeing less than a quarter of the token. So as this attack is coming out of the darkness, I'm gonna say defense roll at disadvantage twice, please.
Goodbye, Nezra.
Goodness
Both of these
gracious.
will manage to hit you. So the first will do 11. That's going to drop you to the ground. The second will cause 2 failed death saves. All right, this one's turn.
We literally created a backup like an hour and a half ago. I was bored and I was like, I better do this.
All right, this one is going to be shot at Hugo, who's going to make a defense roll at disadvantage. And he will evade that one. All right, top of the round, Spectre.
What's the elevation like? Do I have a cleanish shot at the wounded Etten?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yeah, he's pretty tall, or she, I should say, is pretty tall. So yeah, you can definitely see like chest and heads at this point.
And am I, supposing that I were to slip and fall here, am I close enough to this wall to my south that if we do like a little physics thing here, would I hit this wall and stop, or is it like
It's all going to depend on where exactly you're moving when that happens, and I don't want to get too technical because remember this is all happening within 6 seconds. So rather than be able to math it out eyeball style, just do what you're thinking, and then we'll go with that.
What I am thinking is that if I start moving to the south, maybe try to get into this corner, because I'm trying to avoid like another fireball hitting everybody.
Okay.
So if I were to move this way and slip, would I like get caught in this corner? Is my question.
I would say you think it's fairly likely that yes, that would happen.
All right. In that case, I will take my 2 shots at the Etten first,
Okay.
because I get a good angle here. So 1 and 2,
Yes, those will both hit.
and the spider is next to him, so the first one gets sneak, so 18.
Nice.
That will wound her badly,
And 8.
and that will kill her.
And then I will move at half speed towards that corner. So I will give you the blind check as soon as I find the button.
Yep, you'd have no problems doing so.
5, 10, 15, 20.
Okay.
I'm chilling.
Nezra, no pressure. GM, death save. All right. Oh, that is not to GM, so I'm going to ask you to set it to GM and roll again.
Ooh.
He tried his best.
All
Comes
right.
out with 1 hit point.
And so that is Nezra's turn, and if Nezra is still alive, we'll find out. So then we move to this one's turn. All right, Hugo is going to take another shot. This defense roll at disadvantage. He will manage to evade that one, and we get to Kurtu's turn.
All right. Kurtu's going to yell. He's going to say,
All right, everyone swarming, all 20 of you.
just his way of trying to, outsmart the baddies, right? As I shoot a fireball at the big guy.
Fireball?
No, firebolt. I meant bolt.
Okay.
I'd love to fireball, but I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's right. There's a lizard friend in there. I don't want to have to char another one. Although, charred lizard,
It's a delicacy in Soba Taishu.
That will definitely connect. Scorching the large Etten, who rages in anger.
There's more where that came from.
Okay, before this turn, I'm sad to say that you will hear the sound once again of Incanted Spell, Kurtu, and you will notice 3 glowing blue arrows fly. They seem to all be coming towards you, but you notice one of them diverts early, smacks into Nezra, and you see he kind of flexes on the ground as he's struck by this damage. The other 2 go towards you. And that will be 6 points of force damage dealt to you, Kurtu. Okay, so then we're on this turn. Kurtu, I'll need a defense roll at disadvantage. You will be struck by this arrow, suffering 7 points of piercing damage. Okay, then we get to Hugo's turn. Hugo, as we already discussed, is very low on resources here, so he is going to simply toll the dead on the Etten. That will be successful, dealing 16 points of damage to the Etten, who once again roars loudly in anger. Hugo will then try to move back carefully to here. And successfully does so. Okay, Gale.
Alright, I'm going to very carefully move at half speed to here. 5, 10, 15.
Alright, you can't cut that corner, but go ahead and throw me your blind check. Okay, you managed to do so, so I'm going to set you back right here. Call this 15.
Roger. Now, I would like to dash at half speed again.
Okay, yep, no new check needed, so just feel free to move your 15.
Ooh, let's think. Oh yeah. 5, 10. 5, 10. We go 5, 10, 15. We'll put... That almost looks like a surreptitious approach. Very tactical.
Okay, now we're to that turn. Alright, now we're to this one. Kurtu, defense roll at disadvantage. Yes, this will strike you for 6 points of piercing. Okay, Armini's turn. She's going to ask for the spider to attack the Etten, and then on her turn, she will cast... yeah, she can see Kurtu there. She'll cast Healing Word once again. Okay, so Kurtu, you will get back 8, and then Kurtu, Armini, Hugo will get 3. Oh, missed the plus sign there, almost took her down to 3. Okay, so that's her bonus action, and then as her actual action, I think she does Sacred Flame as her primary cantrip, if I remember correctly. Oh, she actually has Toll the Dead also, so I think she'll probably Toll the Dead because she notices this is working quite effectively for Hugo. Hopefully this one will work. I know this one's often... hang on a sec. Yeah, you know what? She decided to cast Sacred Flame instead. Oh no, her cantrips are messed up. Alright, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do a spell effect roll. Okay, so that will certainly connect. Okay, so she does do Toll the Dead. The Etten is wounded once again. Alright, this one's turn. Kurtu, another defense roll at disadvantage. This will hit you as well. For 2 points of damage. Alright, and another. You will evade that one. And another. That one you will get hit by. For 2 points of damage. And then another Kurtu. That one you will evade. I just remembered I forgot the spider, so let's go ahead and give the spider his attack real quick. Oh, he'll miss. See, that's why I forgot it. Okay, Etten's turn. I'm going to move the spider down to here, as that's where the spider would have to be to make his attack. Okay, so the Etten just has the big spider near it. Yeah, it is going to attack the spider. The spider will get hit by both of these attacks for 19 points of damage, wounding the spider. Okay, Kurtu, you're going to notice at the edge of your dark vision, another archer is going to shoot you. This one you can see though, so it's just a straight up roll. You managed to evade that.
As I flip them off.
Luckily.
Alright, we'll move to Spectre's turn.
Alright, half speed here. 'Cause now we need to be moving. Am I able to like brace myself against the wall? Is there like any handholds I can use to like make this easier?
The light source, you could sort of grab onto that, but there's not like regular handholds along the way, no.
And we're gonna be fine. This is an advantage.
You said you're moving carefully?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, then yep, you are fine.
5, 10, 15, 20. That's the spider, I think. I will bonus action dash. No additional check required, right?
Correct.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, lining up for a nice little fireball, lightning bolt, whatever, I don't care. And then I am going to... Ettens are tall, right? I can shoot over the spider?
Yep,
okay.
for sure.
So I will make 2 shots at him.
Move all the bodies out of the way to clean things up here, but yeah, take your 2 shots at the Etten.
1 and
yes,
2.
Those will both hit.
Okay. So 14 on the first and 8 on the second.
The Etten is wounded badly.
All I got.
Alright, Nezra, if he happened to have been alive, would roll a death save. Okay, we move to this individual who is going to move back a bit and then take a shot at Kurtu. Kurtu, defense roll at disadvantage, please. Yes,
Just to let you know, Kurtu's feeling these battle wounds are just proving what a Dragoran can manage. Just saying, he's like sitting there going, bring it on.
Alright, and it is your turn, Kurtu.
Alright, so, you know, I'm going to do it even though there's probably a better thing for me to do. I'm going to try to firebolt the Etten. Feeling that his his power of survival is going well for him.
Yes, that looks pretty good. Throw a fire crit.
Yeah. So we'll just.
If you would like to roll the crit, that's going to be enough damage to kill him outright anyhow. Yep, he is definitely scorched, burnt, falls to the ground in a flaming, nasty smell raising in the air as all the hair that is off of his chins are really accurate and nasty smelling.
You
All right, as I tippy toe out of here, trying to get. I'm gonna do itsy bitsy over here 3 times, trying to see if I can move over here without falling.
Okay, blind check, please. You move very carefully and are able to do so. Okay, let's see. Spectre, Kurtu. I'll do a quick check on distance.
How many spells does this asshole have left?
You will hear some shouting in Elvish. It's hard to make out exact words based on the distance away. Spectre or Kurtu, do you happen to speak Elvish?
No, but Harmony standing right next to me might.
Yeah, she doesn't really seem to hear so well. It's almost like she's not here or something, you know? Okay, so hearing no Elvish there. Alright, Hugo's turn. I think he's going to look at you guys and say, oh, do we press on, or...
Let's regroup.
Alright, hearing that, he will try to move carefully back to here. Just give himself some breathing room. He's able to do so without issue. And we move to Gale's turn.
So, what do you mean? If you guys were in my way, if I'm going down there and I slip, then you two are coming with me. What am I doing?
Notably, after the shouting in Elvish, we did not get shot at, correct?
You did not get shot after you heard that shouting. Yes, that is correct.
I'm just gonna say,
I think there's probably about a dozen more down there. I don't know. They're shooting at me. I'm a pincushion up here.
Well, so what though? Do you want me to go down there and kill or not?
Just remember 6 seconds, 6 seconds.
So, you guys, I have not seen the map. I have
Yeah.
been in a black screen, so I'm just gonna stay there, I guess. I mean,
yeah, to
okay,
be
if you
honest,
guys, I'm going to just stay there, Adam. I'm gonna take a dodge action.
Okay. Okay, so based on that, what I am going to say is we are going to end combat here. I'm going to do some quick map manipulations.
Map manipulation.
Okay, so as you guys don't decide to push on immediately, you notice the spider kind of here at the edge. Harmony's peering to see if she sees any other threats. She doesn't, so she kind of just has it waiting there for, the next thing she might happen to see, if she could send it after something. You do notice that Nezra is lying there on the ground, and after, say, 2 or 3 rounds go by where you guys are watching and eyeing and seeing if there's anything out of the ordinary, you don't see anything. So you're not sure what is going on, if it's a full-scale retreat down there or what. But yeah, you don't. It's pretty quiet.
all right. Well, I'm gonna tell the group that I'm gonna go down and check on Nezra, and that they should stay here.
Are you sure you want to do that? You look...
But somebody has to, and I don't think everybody should.
Where's the bounds of the light? Is it this wall here?
So Hugo's giving off light. The farthest I see light is like, probably 20.
Yeah, I
40 feet
see.
from here.
I see like a diagonal line like cutting the unicorn in half. So I feel like that is the edge of his circle, maybe.
Could be. Now remember, keep in mind there's also the lights that are like here and here. So
Yeah.
those will give enough light as well.
And
Where
and
am I
Yeah, I guess what I would say is, because it's a little bit challenging to know exactly, if you want to say, I want to stay in the darkness, I would say right now the only place that's safe for you in the darkness would be to climb all the way back to the top of the mouth.
Well, what I want to do is see if there's darkness ahead of us. Right.
Yes. Yep. So if Hugo stays where he's at, you feel like you guys can get into the darkness once you pass a little bit past the red box to indicate where it gets flat again.
Uh-huh. Okay, so then I will volunteer to go down and check on the dragon, because I should vanish when I go down there. And now that we're not in combat, I don't need checks as long as I'm moving carefully?
Correct.
Okay, so I will start going that way. And you let me know when I am shrouded in.
So I don't know if it's like an active thing that you notice, but I would say you feel like you're in darkness when you pass the red rectangle.
I can look down and not see
You're
myself.
invisible to yourself, you think?
I'm
Okay.
invisible. I'm invisible to anything that relies on dark vision to see me, and I rely on dark vision to see myself.
Okay,
So-
fair enough. I'll go with that. Yeah, so you can no longer see yourself there.
Excellent. So I will come over here and I guess medicine check. See if he's still kicking.
Sure, yeah, blind check.
His select move.
You're not really familiar with Dragonborn physiology. You're looking for any signs of like inhaling breath or anything like that, which you don't see, but you're not sure.
I'll whistle for Harmony to come down and check on him. I don't know how long it's been since. I don't know how many rounds it's been, but I will keep moving this way a little bit to spot for any elves that are over here. What the
She
fuck is
will
this?
move down to here, and once she gets to about there, she just looks at him briefly, and then she looks back and she identifies that yes, he is dead. So I don't know if she has Revivify. I know somebody said that. Let me check her list real quick.
We bought diamonds for her, so I really hope she prepared it.
She does have it prepared. And I'm looking for diamonds worth 300 gold pieces. Yes, okay, so yeah, she can do that. Based on the number of rounds, she'd have 10 rounds from when he fell, so yeah, that would be no problem at all. So she will burn that slot and resurrect Nezra with 1 HP. Nezra, I'm assuming once you hear this call, as you're just like barely into your afterlife and haven't really gotten attached to it yet, and you hear this call back, that you're accepting the call?
Yeah, Nezra's coming back for sure.
Okay.
Short-lived there.
You come back with 1 HP and take in a deep breath, and yeah, there you are.
Adam, am I able to make out what this thing is?
You can a little bit. Go ahead and give me a blind check. It looks like some kind of altar, but it's not immediately obvious to you what religion it's dedicated to.
Well, that's a problem for another day. We should probably fall back and let the injured get some rest.
Yeah, that's a good plan, I think.
All right, and as you're standing there, Spectre, you hear...
I don't know if I was supposed to hear something.
You hear the sound of knocking, almost faint, like it's echoing.
Can I tell where it's coming from?
Seems to be coming from right next to you.
Is this do I remember when we came here the last time? Is this about where Zeno was chilling out?
It was.
So there's a bunch of rubble here. Is that
Yes, so
accurate?
the red X's represent wall that has been destroyed. Now, not totally 100%, but enough that it's difficult terrain walkable and it's rubble there.
Okay. Am I able to see, like, movement? Like, is this guy buried under this
Give me a
stuff?
blind check as you start looking through the rubble. You
Yeah,
don't
good perception.
find anything there. You don't see any body parts or anything like that.
I'll knock back. I don't know.
All right, you hear very, very muffled.
I didn't hear you. I think your mic cut out.
No, that's about what you hear. It's super
Huh.
muffled. It's like it's almost as though someone's trying to shout at you through stone.
I will briefly step back into the light and signal the strongman Gale to get down here and help me move stuff until we find him. I think that's what's happening. My intuition is telling me that he's buried in the rubble somewhere.
Who are you? Just why is there a lobster standing in front of me? Kurt, do I kill this thing?
Lobster? What?
I come back to Gale and I tell him to not worry about that right now. And Zeno is somewhere in this mess.
Well,
Very good.
I'm going to mean mug the lobster that has now appeared to be friendly.
You notice as you're saying this, Gale, Harmony just motions with her staff and points at a space, and you see the spider just walks over there.
Ah, down here. You want me to be excavation crew? All right, fine.
I will help him if I can.
So
I don't have...
it sounds like what you're trying to do then is like pick up these large chunks of rock that are lying on the ground here.
I'm trying to shift it a little bit because we can hear him, but it's like faint, right? So he's in
Yes.
there somewhere. And I assume that if we keep like knocking and like signaling him that we're still here, we might be able to like hone in on his location eventually.
Okay, well, let me also add, since we're doing stuff. Do you notice the rubble here first off? So I don't know if we keep messing with this. There's a landslide that would take us with the direction of the giant red arrow into the waterway, drown again. So we have to be careful with our footing and make sure that we don't slip or cause another landslide at him. And I don't want the landslide throwing me into the lake.
So you don't think there's nearly enough rubble here for that to be a cause for concern?
Okay, thank goodness. Okay. Yeah, I'll start pulling rock away then.
All right, and you said, Spectre, that you're trying to help?
If I am able to. I don't know what kind of check it is.
It's just kind of manual labor here, lifting stuff, so no check needed. You're just moving small bits at a time. So both of you guys go ahead and give me blind checks, so Gale and Spectre. Gale, you realize this muffled sound is not coming from the rubble at your feet. It's coming from a little bit further into the wall that is still intact.
Oh.
He's inside the wall.
Is he able to come out of the wall?
Hello, hello. I will say in Elvish. I will also say to Spectre. What was his name again?
Zeno.
Oh,
And then I'm gonna walk away and I'm gonna start checking out that Eden with the fancy thing that it had. I don't know where that one fell, but
Right by where Kurtu is at the moment. Okay, so yes, as you start shouting this and you call his name, you do notice almost very oddly as a hand just reaches out of the solid stone, and then a foot, a torso, and you see Zeno emerges from the stone.
Ah, Zeno, over here. Where have you been? You okay?
You notice he steps out and does this kind of like shake, almost reminiscent of a dog, and like starts wiping off his shoulders and his chest. And you're sort of picturing maybe like little rubble would fall off of him, but there's really nothing there. He just maybe is cautious or just feels like there's something there, perhaps. But you see he kind of quickly scans and looks around and notices that there is a whole lot of destruction here. He looks back towards you, Gale, and in a very different tone of voice, he says, Have you defeated the dragon?
Well, halfway maybe, because it ran away. Well, flew away from the group last week.
We think. We're not sure if it came back in the cave or not. I don't know if you were able to see anything while you were
I was
in there.
unable to see while inside the stone. I could only hear but briefly and very low volume.
Did you hear a enormous flying thing fly through here?
I can't say that I did. I'm not sure if I would have where I was at, though. You see he once again kind of scans around your party members. You notice he has like a quite a bit of a different disposition at this point. He's standing very uptight and straight, and you see as he looks at all of you, he says, "So if you are successful, if you've been victorious here, then I assume that you will want to inspect what is remaining here inside this lair."
Yes.
If the dragon's still here, we gotta find it. And if it's not, then...
Well, how? You seem different than the Xeno that we met before. Did you hit your head inside the cave? Are you okay?
You see he like kind of cocks his head just slightly and blinks his eyes. "Apologies for the deception. I had to gauge whether or not you were worthwhile individuals, whether or not you would actually come back and rescue me. I had to test your mettle, so to speak."
Oh my goodness! Then who are you?
You wish to know my real name? Is that what you ask?
Yeah, I do. I don't know about everyone else. You can just whisper it to me if you like.
It is not a great secret. From you, at least, though I hide my true identity from others. But you may call me Ilithura.
Are you a dragon, Ilithura?
Does that name mean anything to us?
He inclines his head towards you, Kurtu. "I am." I don't think anybody would recognize this name specifically, but I'll give Kurtu probably a disadvantage check here, just on a rare possibility. So go ahead and blind check Kurtu. Disadvantage, very unlikely, but just because you're back on, I'm going to give you a small chance here. Yeah, this is not a name that you're familiar with.
Are you a gold dragon by chance? I just tend to know one.
You notice he gives you a very slight smile. "I am not, but I know one who is a associate of mine, and he will want to speak with you all, I'm sure. Perhaps you should wrap up what you have to do here and then meet me at the surface, and I shall take you to speak with him and the others."
Wow, that's a great idea. What do you think, Spectre?
Yeah, but first we gotta kill the dragon if it's still here. So...
But we already have another dragon.
Yeah, but you'll recall that we were hired to kill the dragon.
Okay.
So if it's here, we gotta find it. If it's not, there's not much we can do.
You notice he looks as his eyes cast over the water to the northeast. "I do not see the body of the fallen one."
Are you talking about the
rider? Are you talking about the rider?
He nods his head. "Yes, I suspect the rider was the mask wearer."
He fell over here, if I remember correctly.
Are there other bodies, or did they all get moved?
I see
You
nothing.
see the bodies of everybody that you fought just now, but you don't see any other bodies from before. All right, so as you're pushing a little bit in there, I just want to give you a description, nothing too dangerous, but just because you pushed in and it's kind of blank rooms, I want to give you an idea of what you're seeing here. Okay, so to your northeast, you can see that there are torches and sconces in this area. In the middle of the room, you can see that there are long tables made of split logs. There is a cooking fire that seems to be down to nothing. So think of this as a circular area where there would be, cooks and all that kind of stuff. You just see not even embers, just charcoal, the residue of a previous fire. There is these torches on the walls, as already mentioned. You can see some odds and ends of cult garb, some other items that you would associate with just people have been living here. So think of this as like containers, bags, some sleeping clothing, like all these different kind of odds and ends in this room.
I don't see Rasmus nowhere.
I'm not going to respond to that because there could be any number of attackers on that other way, but
Hey, before we just go off exploring into this cave, do you want me to do some healing?
knock yourself out. I'll say the dragon's name because I've already forgotten it, but Spectre wouldn't because it's only been 10 seconds. Your kind is able to see invisible people when you're old enough, right? Did you happen to see what Illithura? Yeah, that's the one. Did you happen to see where our spellcasting attack? No, you weren't. You were in the wall. Never mind. Stupid question. Do you sense anyone nearby? We might have to ask the surviving elves what happened here while we were gone.
You see his gaze turns to the south. I hear the sound of very desperate and terrified individuals that way. Your elves will likely be found there.
What do you guys think? Should we go browbeat some elves once we're healed up?
Well,
I hope these guys aren't your friends or anything, right?
These elves, you ask?
Yeah, we kind of had to fight our way through them.
No, I suspect based on what I learned back in Ultand that these individuals were captured by the cult and put into service to work for them.
Well, we should just let them be.
Well, all wars have their casualties, but they've been here, they've been working here, they know what's going on. They would have seen the dragon if he came in. So we should go ask them some questions.
As you say this, you get this sort of like judging eye from him that passes almost immediately.
She's not concerned.
Okay.
After about a minute, Nezra finishes up healing him and Kertu. Kertu heals for 36, and Nezra will heal for 37.
Dang.
It's
Well,
not
up here there are two
not a lot.
rooms and there's another hallway, so whichever way you go first.
I feel like we should find the elves first, because they will know something about what we're about to walk into. And then we can go that way.
As I said, once you are done here, meet me at the mouth of the tunnel, and we will discuss our next plans.
Right on.
Okay, Mr. Dragon, we'll do exactly what you said. Wow, I may have to change allegiance.
So, we're just gonna go and fight these elves again, yeah? Is that the plan?
We don't need to fight them necessarily, as long as they're cooperative. They don't want to die by the sound of it. Most people don't. So we can get what information we can out of them.
Hugo and Harmony seem particularly interested in this new posture out of Zeno, so they're going to decide to hang out back with him and talk with him a bit.
Hey, Adam, did we discuss what this is?
Yes, you guys seen this before. This looks to be some kind of an altar, but you're not familiar as to the exact religion that it's dedicated to. So if anybody's proficient in religion and wants to examine the altar, you can make a check at that point. Spectre looked just briefly and was not able to recognize it.
Nezra is proficient, so he'll go over and check it out for everybody.
You have a light spell on you, Nezra? Is that
I
what
do,
this is?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, otherwise I can't see.
Yeah.
Right.
gotcha.
But,
I could stay in the back if you need me to.
and I do have the light cantrip, by the way. If anyone.
They're over here! They're
So,
over here!
Just as an FYI, you can't actually see up there. Remember the difference in elevation.
Oh, that's right. They're not over here. They're not over here.
Wait, can we hear them, like, as we're getting closer?
You cannot. No, it's very
Okay.
quiet. Nezra, go ahead and give me a blind check.
I did not know if you right-click your token, you can open your character sheet. That is cool.
You mean shift right click or?
Oh,
actually,
shit.
that's a new one. Okay, yeah.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, no, that's brand new. That's perfect for you, Jordan, when you always lose in your character sheet. Blind religion check, right, Adam?
Yes. Yes, you do recognize this as you look at how it's laid out. This is a altar in service to the goddess Eldath. She is the goddess of waterfalls.
Right at home.
It's a stupid, silly god.
A bit on the nose, don't you think?
By the way, what did I find on the Eden? What was that thing?
Yes, the Etten had a large sash across her waist.
Does it look valuable?
I mean, it looks distinctive, I will say. Whether or not it's valuable, it's hard to say.
If I try, can I get it off of her, or would that
Yeah.
be like way too much? Yeah.
No,
okay.
it just takes you a little bit of time. You're kind of wiggling it, getting all up in the body fat and stinky odors and stuff. But yeah, you can.
Totally fine. Well, if it looks distinctive and cool, I'm gonna hold on to it. I don't know what it is, but we could probably sell it for something. Or it might even belong to the elves they conscripted. I don't know.
I
Good to have.
suspect.
Is it heavy?
Yes, kind of. Like maybe 5 pounds.
Let me check to see how close I am to encumbrance. 12 times 15. I have enough weight. I will add a 5-pound thing to my sheet.
You can add it as a sash.
Is
Okay, looking in that direction, Gale, you notice this corridor stretches out before you and then seems to split to the south and also continue to the west.
I believe this is where the secret door from the slopey entrance came to behind, so this might be an interesting place to look. But if you want to go talk to release the prisoners who were captured to shoot arrows at us, we could do that first.
yeah. They're probably not gonna believe we're no threat after we killed half of them. But
I think they will absolutely know we are a threat.
yeah, probably wise. But listen, they have information. We need it. We'll try not to kill
Yeah.
them. Hopefully, it's not necessary.
And they could have tried to miss us when they were shooting at me.
All right, let's go down there and then talk to them. How do we
Okay,
get up
I
there?
think this
Who
is
is
a
this
good
guy?
time for me to bring up that I am excellent at torture.
That's good
let's
to know.
keep that in our back pocket for now. I think we've scared them sufficiently at this point that they might answer. But I do need you, Gale, because I can't speak the language.
I walk over here. Who's the guy? Who's the new guy?
He's a homeless person we found in the woods. Don't think too much
Oh.
about it. He came here to help.
Homeless?
Killing Dragon.
I was traveling through the woods, and I was
Okay.
fishing. I was just fishing.
Okay, well, nice to meet you, fisherman. My name is Gale Fusefall. I am a fighter. I haven't met that many true fishermen. Do you couldn't make a lot of money while fishing?
I can.
You look like you're concentrating on something. Are you alright?
No, I'm not concentrating on anything.
Alright.
Are you going to keep studying me, or are we going to go kill these elves?
We're not. I do not think we need to kill them. They are being ill-treated and tortured potentially to contribute to shoot arrows at us. I don't think it was on what they hate us in any way.
Well, they probably hate us now, but whatever. Used to it.
Do you want me to go in the front then? Are you scared of them?
No, we're not scared.
You
And
can't get up that way, it's a wall.
the whole way around? Well, the homeless man is smart.
Is there like an incline in this hallway we're walking through?
There is not.
Okay.
A just question.
So, there's a corner up ahead.
Okay.
Just calling out the plays there. What do you want?
Omaha! Omaha!
Well, if the elves were to the south,
As you step
Hey,
into
Bob.
this room here, Nezra, you notice a tunnel that goes to your south that does raise in height, so it inclines as it moves further to the south. This room itself has a very terrible odor about it. You notice there are 3 huge trash mounds piled against the west walls. All together, this is like a very sloppy, kind of nasty smelling place. Not pleasant at all.
is this direction where the Ettins came from?
It is.
The first
Yes.
time we were here? Okay. Spectre assumes this is some sort of Ettin bedroom. Whatever those 3 were doing in here, not our business.
I think the corridor to the north goes to the main slide.
Yeah, that tracks. There was a secret door up there. Somebody came through. So.
Down here, there's this. Now this is rising up, Adam, as we go south.
Correct. It is increasing in elevation, so you're basically walking uphill.
Then I will do so with careful steps.
Okay, you get up closer to the door now, and at this point, as you're getting closer, you can hear the sound of people whispering in Elvish. Did they go away? Can we block them from here?
I talked to Spectre telepathically. No, I'm just kidding. I'll carefully walk. Yeah, thank you. They're really nervous.
Good. She
I'm
says
just gonna-
quietly.
I'm just gonna open the door and
Open
say,
the door.
"Let's talk first."
As
As
you
you
try
can.
to open the door, it does not open. It feels as though it is barred on the other side. But you hear a sound of like an inhalation of breath as though they realize you are there now. And you hear a voice that speaks from the other side of the door. Go away!
Yes, that would be something that's on our top to-do list, is to in fact go away. But you see, we are no longer concerned about your puny arrows. We're more concerned about if you know where that green dragon might be at now. Is he behind these doors?
You hear a second voice from behind say, I know I shot that kobold like 3 times. But the guy in the front goes, shh, 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 shh. No, he's not back here. This is just a little area. Just go away.
Ask him if he came inside the cave after we left.
Has the green dragon returned to the cave after we left?
You hear them very quietly whispering amongst themselves. We don't know anything. We just go away.
Oh my god, please, I will go in there. I am holding back a homeless fisherman who's so mad right now and wants to cut you all in half. I myself am a little pissed. I could break through this door and do a happy slashy, but I don't want to. I just want you to answer my questions. Will you please let me know the answer to my questions?
Give me
Nah.
a blind intimidation check, Yale. You hear him the whisper. Yeah, just do what he says. Do what he says. Yeah. He did come back in here, and he flew in, and we saw him scoop a couple bodies up, and then he dived into the water.
He scooped some bodies up. Like maybe it was the guy with the mask and somebody, maybe Rasmus, because I don't see.
Rasmus, probably. As he had all our money on him. Again.
We
shouldn't have let
spent
him
most
do
of
that.
it. We spent most of it. It's okay.
So, hey guys, hey Spectre, do you think that this is a treasure hoard inside somewhere? Where's his gold?
He wouldn't keep it with the elves.
No, he
If-
wouldn't. Is it
yeah.
underwater?
Well, there was that other passage where all the cultists were hanging out that you described, with the fire and stuff. So if we go that way, we might find something.
All right, I'm gonna let them be. All right, we are going to look around some more. You stay tight. Do not leave. We'll let you know when we leave. Okay?
We won't.
Yeah, okay.
Tell the people at the bank. Count to 100 before you call the police. Okay.
Like they didn't immediately push the button under their desk, you know?
Panic button.
Didn't you ever play GT5? Come on. GTA. Wow. I forgot a part of that acronym.
Well, let's not forget this is where the dragon shits, so it probably has a pile of shit, but also gold.
Was there anything down south?
Oh, we can look real quick. It's a perfect GIF. I don't see anything. Adam, is there anything in this back area?
Nothing that sticks out to you, no.
Big enough
Wait,
for maybe a dragon to sleep.
Hey, Adam, how did those guys... How did the archers flee to the south? They were able to climb up these ledges, right?
No, you did not see them flee to the south.
That first time we came in here, I thought they were all retreating to the south, even the first time, you know?
The first time you guys were in here, they were up on the ledge shooting down at you.
Yeah.
So they were not actually at the ground level.
So everyone at the ground level died then, or couldn't escape.
Well, on the second fight, everybody that was up on that platform actually engaged you from the ground level. So it was different.
Oh, okay. I'm wondering if I'm missing something. Okay. Oh, and new friend, we're looking for a goat-looking humanoid. He's my friend. We have to find his body.
And just keep an eye on the water. Make sure there's no imminent rising bubbles to signify a fucking dragon. Is my passive perception doing that?
Yes.
Okay.
Like splits in two.
All right, and Gale, you've been here before. The room to your east and northeast looks like a common room of sorts, and then to the northwest, you notice several bunks and bedrolls and backpacks in the area.
Okay. Well, seeing all of the bunks and backpacks, does it look like anybody tried to grab anything and run, or is it still just left behind?
Give me a blind check to see if you can intuit that.
I've got a pretty good intuit skill.
You don't see anything that jumps out at you that gives you the impression people grabbed stuff and ran.
Okay. I'm gonna step back out and say, I don't know how you guys feel about stealing things, but there's a lot of things to steal in that back room there.
Well, this is where the cultists came from, so I have no problem stealing from them.
Well,
If we only had Hugo with this detect... Oh no, he's out of spell slots.
You could cast it as a ritual.
Ah, yeah, that's right, he could.
do you want to maybe go and check down that tunnel before we start searching? If there's no one there, then we can just come back and do it at ease.
Yes,
Yeah,
we look
sounds
for danger areas, live bodies. Copy.
I like that you call me homeless fisherman. If we get in a fight, no one expects me to kick their ass that way.
It's like Gandalf was mistaken as a wanderer. Vagabond, that's what it was. Okay, there's a junction here. Hold up, I do the hold symbol with my fists.
Nesver gives you like a nux, and when he does, you realize that on his right hand, he's missing his middle finger and his ring finger.
I try not to mention it, or stare too long.
Seeing that Gale went that way. Oh,
Gale, as you step to this space, you notice something that you hadn't spotted before. Suddenly, on the ground in front of you, you notice almost like a spark, but it's green in nature, and suddenly it explodes outward to both you and to Nezra. I'll need both of you to give me dexterity saving throws.
oof. Not a strong suit of mine, so can I use my reaction? Oof. Yeah, I'm gonna use my reaction to hero point.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I might need to use my reaction for something else, so I'm just gonna dex save.
You will both fail this save. So as this effect on the ground suddenly explodes, Gale, you suffer 18 points of acid damage, and Nezra, you suffer
Yes!
20 points of acid damage.
Bam! Dampen elements on me, and I'm gonna take 10 points of acid damage.
Okay, yep, that'll work. Okay, you are free to move once again.
Is alive? Are you okay?
Oh, the place is trapped, but that's a good sign. You don't trap things that you don't want others to take. What? I always get that confused. There's probably something important down here.
You see, like, Nezra had, like, thrown his shield up in front of his face and, like, blocked most of the acid, but it still hit him in, like, his arms and his chest and his, like, legs, but he, like, shakes it off. I'm fine.
Okay, so Adam, I'm gonna walk. Ping.
Watch your feet.
Yes, I'm gonna walk.
Is the thing
Ping.
still there?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear Spectre. What was that?
Well, Spectre can't see it, but Gale would. Is the thing, the little sparks on the ground still there, or did it go away when it exploded?
You don't see any sparks on the ground, Gale.
So I'm looking for. Okay, here's what happened. I'll come back and I'll summarize. There were little sparks on the ground. Imagine it was like something Hugo would do, and make a trap on the ground to blow people up or something. So I clumsily didn't realize that existed. So, but now I know. Do you want me to continue forward and just be more careful?
How good is your ability to pick things up? How's your eyesight?
I can pick things. Oh, as my eyesight. Well, I have
You have-
perception +5.
Or Elvish 2020, as they say. That sounds fine.
Okay, fine. I will go and actively try to perceive for traps, Adam.
Okay,
Gale,
go ahead
what are
and
your-
give me a blind check, please?
What did Aragon say? He said, "What do your elf eyes see?"
That's right.
You do not see anything out of the ordinary as you approach.
This way. Carefully.
I'm gonna instinctually give Gale about a 15-foot drop.
As you step to there, Gale, entering this room proper, the first thing you notice is this is a very lush living space in this rough-walled cavern. There is art and craft works that seem to be decorating this room around the walls. All in all, you see rich carpets and tapestries, and you notice that there is a hewn log bed, a large mirror, and a trunk. However, as you step to here, you also notice a terrifying green ray of energy seems to emit directly from your south. As it does, you see it fires, filling up this entire hallway. I will need all three of you to give me dexterity saving throws.
Alright, I'm hero pointing this one at him. I assume I got my reaction back from that
Yes.
period of time.
Oh my god, I'm rolling horrible
I'm the
again.
best.
Dang, nice.
Someone want one of mine?
Damn it, with my hero point. What the fuck is that? Oh my god, I'm gonna kill this character from traps.
Hold that thought. Because so first of all, Gale, you are going to fail this save, and you will take. Then Spectre, remind me, do you have something that if you do you have evasion?
Oh, not yet.
Okay. So what you're going to notice as this green ray fires, filling this entire hallway, Gale, you suffer 78 points of force damage.
Oh my god.
Nezra, you failed the save, right?
Yeah, I'm for sure.
All right. As this greenish ray touches into you, and you take 80 points of force damage. Those nearby will notice Nezra is disintegrated and turned into a pile of dust on the ground.
God
Vector,
damn.
let's see. You see this ray coming, and you basically have to drop completely flat to the ground and hug the ground, and it just whoosh, goes right over your head. Think of it as like just touching maybe a few of the strands on your hair, and you hear this sound and like just dust falls on your head, but you otherwise suffer no effects.
Okay. Maybe whatever's down there isn't worth it. I'm gonna quickly step over here. Oh, we're still locked.
I just unlocked.
Okay, I don't want to be in this hallway anymore. Gail, did you see what did that? You probably want to move out of the way, by the way.
Do you think it recharges?
Maybe.
I don't.
Where's our person who can investigate and search? Do you not want to look in this room?
I don't want to eat another disintegrate.
Yeah,
Is
that
he
was
seeing
rough.
anything?
All right. Well, let me look at him. Did I step on something again?
So you failed your previous check. You didn't spot anything, but it sounds like you want to now get down and kind of look around on the ground, see if there's any kind of pressure plates. Sure.
He wants to move out of the line of fire
Sure.
first.
Go ahead and give me a blind check, please.
Let me see if it's not quite. It's not selecting properly. Let's see.
You feel quite confident that there is not a pressure plate on the ground in this area.
It was.
Adam, do I think it was like a glyph of warding or something like that?
That seems very likely based on what you've seen so far.
Can somebody get Hugo to come here and detect something magical? That would be great. I would hate to abandon something because we don't have the people for the week, you know? Who can actually... He's at the mouth of the cave. He can ritually cast detect magic and would be able to, in my opinion, at least see if there's magical spells, hidden in traps, arcane traps, I would think.
Yeah, but if there's another disintegrate trap and we send him in by himself, that's kind of shitty.
I'm right here.
So what I will say is that a simple detect magic will not detect these. If it was as easy as like a level 1 character ritually casting a spell and then you can avoid all dangers, then right now you would not be able to in this area.
I keep forgetting it's such a low level spell.
Adam, can you describe the room?
I can, yes. So this looks to be a very lavishly outlaid room. You can see that there is very fancy looking furniture, carpets, tapestries, and art objects hung up around the room. You also notice that there is this very nice looking bed that has been crafted from hewn log wood. There's a large mirror and there is a trunk.
So we have nobody who can detect traps, physically,
Okay.
and we have no
Well,
one who can do it arcanically. That wants to, I should say, be more clear, because there's a trunk in here. This is clearly a trapped hallway for something important. But if you want to go somewhere else, we can go somewhere else. I mean, I don't know how many times arcanically. I do not know how many times your use called this the disintegration gun or something would recharge. I don't know.
I would.
Hugo may not be able to detect it, but if Kurtu thinks it's a glyph of warding, what do the spellcasters know about that spell? Do we think that it's a one and done thing, or do we think it can recharge?
Do you happen to have Glyph of Warding on your spell list, Kurtu?
That's a no.
All right, then give me a blind Arcana check. So what you know about glyphs is that they usually are triggered based on proximity. So once you get close to one of them, then the spell that is associated with the glyph will take effect. Detecting them requires very careful examination. So usually people that are incredibly intelligent or very skillful rogues would be your best bet to find these before they are triggered.
Mechanically, that's an investigation check specifically?
Correct, yep.
Okay. I don't have that one.
Yeah, well, none of us do except Hugo would be the only one that I think actually has proficiency in it, right?
I have no idea. I can check for you.
Not I.
Hugo does not have investigation. He's got a good intelligence, so he'd be, halfway decent, but he's not proficient in it. So up to you guys. Obviously, it's been very dangerous so far. You can either take your chances and hope there's nothing here. You can look around, spend some time yourself, see if maybe you get lucky and spot something, or you can just say, nope, this is way too dangerous and back out.
Spectre votes fuck this. We stepped on one square and almost all died immediately. So there's probably something cool down there, but we just don't have the manpower right now to check it out, is my thoughts.
I agree.
Yeah. All right.
Adam, where is the chest in this room visually?
It would be against the south wall, so it would be looking like here-ish.
Okay. I'm going to ask Gale to leave. And I'm going to recommend Gale move even more. I'm going to do something foolish. And Adam, I'm going to shoot a firebolt at the chest.
Okay. So I will say your firebolt will hit, because it's obviously not going to be difficult to hit the chest. It doesn't seem to have much of an effect. Like, it impacts the chest, but it does not set it aflame.
I was hoping to blow up the whole room. If we can't have it, nobody can.
Okay, well, it didn't do anything, but that's okay. I left a mark.
Well, what do you guys think? I think
Well-
this is not worth it. Whatever.
Well, there's only 3 of us now. Yeah.
Is well protected. We can't, in good faith, ask the player characters who aren't here to
Yeah.
come and check things out for us. So
I'm going
I
to go
mean-
ahead and just take a peekaboo around the corner, but yes, I agree.
I'm gonna step over this way to not take another disintegration ray.
Adam, I'm going up here quietly just to let you know. I just want to take a look.
Sure, yeah, give me a blind check as you try to move very quietly up in this area. Okay, yeah, so as you just barely turn this corner and look in this room, you notice that there are barrels, boxes, crates, bags galore in this room. It is filled kind of to the brim, all of the back wall, coming probably to about 30 or 20 feet off of the north wall. So there's kind of just like a narrow walking path. You could try to walk in between boxes and crates and stuff if you wanted to, but it's a pretty snug fit. Being a small creature, you could probably, get yourself into different areas if you want to. But yeah, a lot of visual obstructions, a lot of boxes. It looks like a big storage area.
Yeah, I'm not going to go in. I just wanted to get kind of a lay of the lands.
All right, here's what I'm thinking. But for the foreseeable future, we reconvene with Xeno / the dragon thing. We go back to Altand. We report that the dragon has apparently blown the coop. We don't know where it is, but it doesn't. It feels like it would have attacked us by now if it was still here. So I think it took Narenvain's body and ran to parts unknown. So we go back to Altand. We report that we chased it off, didn't kill it, but whatever. if they want to investigate this lair for any of their fallen people, I don't know if those elves back there were from Altand or from elsewhere, but they might want to give them proper burials. I don't know. And they might want to check out the caves. We'll warn them that it's trapped and dangerous and we're not going in there. Fuck that. And then if the elves want to investigate this on their own, more power to them.
Also,
I would agree.
Also, like a dragon's lair wouldn't be in a room. The dragon likes to sit on it, right? And look at it and stare at it. You know, so this isn't his hoard either.
I don't think you guys are. I know I'm dead, but what I would think in my head is that the dragon probably wouldn't set these magical traps,
Yeah.
especially because he couldn't squeeze through these hallways. This has to be the elf guy. Was his name
Naren
Vane? So whatever's hidden back here, I think would probably just be maybe. Yeah, this is me just thinking outside the box. Right, but if they spent the last few weeks, this is what I've been thinking at least, if they spent the last few weeks raiding these elf villages, we thought two things. We thought either one, they were trying to amass a bunch of treasure or something, or two, that they were trying to find a specific item, right? Maybe it's a specific item and then it was important and they hid it back here. Because it was hidden back here, the dragon couldn't come back here and get it, so he just scooped up Narenvane and took off. Does that mean that that item back there, it may be the green dragon mask? I mean, it definitely could be. You know what I mean? So that's just my 2 cents. Is we knew that they were going after some kind of treasure or some kind of powerful item, and that item may be what's trapped and hidden back here.
Yeah, and we can't get through it. We don't feel confident enough to get through it.
Well,
That's fine.
Either way,
That's fine.
either way.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And even if we leave the green mask, if it's there in the trunk and we leave it, it's not game breaking either way. Whether we have it or not. So it's not worth being disintegrated over. Maybe.
That's true.
I think with 3 players and the potential to lose more, we probably should not do that today, at least. I think we tell the elves, hey, look, there's probably a dragon horde somewhere in the caves.
Oh, that's perfect. Make the elves walk back there and get it.
I mean, if they were doing raids, it's probably mostly their shit anyway. So
tell the elves. Yeah, tell the elves that are back there that you'll let them all live if they come and they collect all of the treasure. And then that way, if any traps or anything goes off, it just kills a bunch of harmless elves.
That's a perfect idea. Okay, Adam, that's our strategy when we get back from break. We're gonna convince those archers to get in here and grab shit from that trunk. Thank you.
All right, it'll be interesting to see on the other side, but yeah, all right. Let's go ahead and take our 15-minute break, guys. We'll see everybody then.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we are back on the second half of our session. Just had some very traumatic stuff occur in the first half. So, team, we will get you right back to where you were. You guys are currently exploring this area, and yes, your newest friend has been disintegrated and is currently just a pile of dust on the ground.
Did anyone know his name? Then never mind. I guess it doesn't matter. Why don't we ask the dragon person to maybe come help? Or is he, like, not willing to help because he's a dragon?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, sorry, my mic was not working. I doubt he'd be interested in doing that.
We could ask, but I don't know. I mean, I'm all up for asking, though.
No. You make a good point. He might not be interested, but what do we think is here that might pique his interest into the thing? That's the point. It's how you pitch it. You don't just say, hey, dude, can you help me look around for something expensive that I can keep for myself? It has to be a little different.
We could tell him that the room was really trapped and it's probably got all kind of secrets in there about the evil guild members, and so maybe we just go ahead and tell him that and see if he'll, maybe come here and help.
Yeah, like it's a solid suspicion, right? It's more probable than not that there's just something in there that's paramount to this adventure. And if he has an interest in us being a part of that, then we could pique his interest. Pretty normal, without it being too outrageous.
Yeah, I suppose we could try. Um,
But we're not looking around anymore then, Spectre? You feel better to just quit going down hallways at this point?
I feel like stepping foot into rooms we haven't explored yet is probably hazardous to our health, given what we've experienced so far.
Okay.
I think we should use our dearly departed companion, we hardly knew him, as an example, and get out of here with our lives intact.
Do we, I don't mean to be rude, but do we sweep him up? I mean, what do you do when there's no, or do we just throw his water his dust into the water? Come on.
Well, I've heard there's a service you can pay to, like, have him scattered over Disneyland or something, but I don't know. He didn't seem like the type to really care about that kind of thing.
Do we put him in a ring or something for his family? I don't know.
Well, why don't we get out of the hallway in case that does recharge? Come over here, Kurtu. They're a little make me nervous over there. I say we leave it because, I don't know, like, we could sweep it up and that would put me in the fatal funnel.
Well, I didn't know him well enough. I wish him well wherever, if he's up or down, I don't know.
Okay, so, agreed, we go maybe see if we can get the Ilanthenthor to pique his interest in helping us solve any unanswered questions that might be lying behind a very heavily trapped room.
It's worth trying. It's worth trying, but I mean, it depends on what his relationship is, right? Like, we know he's a dragon. He appears to be opposed to the cult. So if they've got something important hiding back there, he might want to know about it. We can point it out, but looking at the two of you, even looking at me, I don't think I would have survived that had it hit me, so pressing our luck is probably not a good idea at this point.
Well, I mean, being a Dragoran, I do have a bonus to persuasion checks against dragons.
Go for it.
Great. And you are the one who do the talking. Pique his interest. Don't just say, we need your help finding stuff that we think is going to be really cool on my belt.
Oh, of course not. Well, it's true, though. It's true. We don't know what's in there. It could be helpful.
And maybe he can... And also, the worth keeping in mind, since we can't just keep going back to the dragon and say, oh, Adam, I meant to ask him this, we asked him this. Also add to a list or two. This is a dragon lair after all. We did rush the dragon away. We did come back and show our valor by coming back for you to make sure that Zeno was safe. So we've proven that our alignment is good, regardless of what our character sheets say. Maybe, I don't know. But maybe he could, as a reward, also maybe help us. Where is this lair that would help us fight this cult back?
Well, and we didn't kill the poor slave guys. I mean, even though I wanted to, but we didn't. Yeah. We held ourselves, right?
They're up there. Yep. All right, let's go talk to them. That's a good pitch. Adam, I'm running up without any care in the world.
Like intentionally trying to potentially fall?
No.
Trying not to stay in his path.
Come on. We've been on this fucking slide for a month, I feel like. I believe we're very aware of what those boxes mean, and we're walking very carefully.
We're going very carefully.
All right.
AKA him running 90 feet ahead, dragging himself fully.
As you guys very carefully make your way to the tunnel mouth, you notice the character of Zeno, as he formerly was known as, standing there sort of looking out across the water. As you're approaching, you notice a slight change in his posture as though he has heard you. And once you get within that distance, Kurtu, you see he turns and looks back towards you. You see he kind of raises an eyebrow once again, noticing just the three of you.
Noticing Gale bleeding profusely.
Have you completed your searches of this area? Are you ready to go?
I would have to say that there's another room that seems to be severely guarded with a lot of magic, and we lost our new friend. He died. He was zapped like a bug spray there. Zip, zip.
That is very unfortunate to hear, but I must say, based on the statement he made, that may benefit you in the future.
Yes, we did spare those elves up there. It wasn't their fault. They were forced to throw arrows downrange.
And
They're
we asked them-
safe behind the wall.
Yeah, and we told them to be behind the wall because we didn't know what was going to happen next, and so we told them that they could come out in a day or something. But I was wondering, I mean, there must be something important in there, maybe some manuscripts that talk about all this dragon stuff going on. And I was wondering, I mean, you're probably pretty powerful, right? So I was thinking maybe since now we're down a party member, maybe you could join the adventure and go down with us and help us see if there's any traps so we can kind of figure out and look in the big room, see if there's any important documents in there.
If you think it is of importance, we could. I would be surprised if there is anything too valuable left here, seeing as Chulth has apparently abandoned this lair.
Yeah, we don't know. All we know is the room was significantly guarded, and there was a big storage room, we think, with all the stolen goods, maybe, from the elven cities. We need to tell them. So we don't know, but we won't know until we look. And we lost a friend already.
You see he kind of gets a slight smirk on his face. You've lost a friend, but you haven't specified how, and yet you wish to push on. Is it you really suspect something significant is there?
What I'm saying is that look at my friend here. Look at Gil, he got zapped too. But Spectre was really quick and didn't get zapped. I wasn't in the area. But yeah, big glyph of spell came out there to them and hit them.
There were two traps, sir. One particularly at the hallway, and the one at the entrance into a very decorated room. I suspect you are helping us. We're helping you, and I don't think it would be good for us to leave this place unsearched further before we continue to solve what is happening with the cults.
I think
could
a
help
few
you,
minutes
but
searching.
Allow me to put it this way. If we find anything there of incredible importance, as you suspect, I must take ownership of it and bring it back to the council. Do you wish for me to go with you, knowing this?
Well, yeah, I mean, the important thing is that we get it taken care of, right? You know, because there could be important stuff there.
Cult may come back as soon as we leave, if they had to leave in a hurry. We don't know that for sure, but
I agree with that. We tried to keep our efforts clandestine, which is the fancy word Leroy taught me. But if you take it back to the council, we trust it will be in good hands.
Give me a blind check here, Gale. You notice almost like a twitch in the eye that you intuit that you probably have misunderstood what he has said, but you notice he quickly recovers and nods and says, "Okay, then let us go and look." Lead the way.
It's not the first time. He says to himself, it's not the first time I misunderstood common as second language.
is Armony still here? Armony and Hugo, does she have like a fat heel that she can slap on Gale in case?
Hey, I've got
Let's
3
do
healing
that.
potions, Gale, if you want a couple of them.
You do not see Armony, Hugo, or the giant spider.
I'll take 2 more healing potions. I'll be done.
Okay, I'll give you 2.
If you get hit by a disintegration ray, you are going to die.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let me do 2 healing potions before we walk up. So that'll be
That'll fix it.
4d4 plus 4, I think.
Yeah, that'll just help you disintegrate less.
That would be plus. You said how many potions you took? Just 2?
2.
Oh
yeah.
Then you're right. You're right.
So that would be 13.
Alright, we lead him back to
This way, sir.
yeah.
So if you want me to just like fast travel you guys,
Yeah,
you're
just
basically
fast
heading
travel.
right where you were.
Yeah. Same
Yes.
spot.
All
I
right,
don't want to be in the hallway.
I'm putting
but yes,
Spectre
that
right in
room.
the front of the hall. What now?
Sure. That room, but ahead of the hallway.
All right, so this is
Oh,
where you're leading, and you notice as you start moving forward, he just puts his hand out and stops you, and he says, "If it is as dangerous as you say, perhaps I should go first."
Of course. Like, squeeze out of the way.
North or south?
To the south.
North was the storage room where we suspect
Yes,
all the
south.
elf possessions are.
All right, you notice he looks to the north for a moment, then looks to the south. He points to the north and looks back towards you, and seemingly with no concern of keeping his voice quiet here, he says, "There are 2 individuals hiding in that room."
Oh,
Individuals.
I'll guard here. You go in there, Spectre.
Yes, it should be dark, right? Or
No, no, no,
Our,
yeah,
our only
yeah.
our only light source got disintegrated.
It is dark, yes.
Okay, so if he's unconcerned, then that
He's
means
looking around, and again, you're only looking at the back of his head kind of thing, but his hand is on a swivel, and he seems to be scanning around. Based on what you know, you suspect his senses are tremendously better than yours.
yeah, I know. Fucking dragons, man. So,
It's like the game's named after them or something,
Yeah.
right?
so he said there were individuals hiding in this room, the
Yes.
north one. Okay, I'm gonna stealth in there, half speed.
Okay, blind check.
It's still dark, right?
It is dark, yes.
Okay. So blind check.
And just as a reminder, even though you're not seeing this on the map, there are crates, boxes, containers all over this place. It is like a massive storage room. All right, you move as quietly as you can.
Is there a path that I can go through?
Several? Yeah, so like if you're just trying to get to the east, you can get there pretty easily. If you're trying to walk through all of the storage stuff, then it's all like nooks and crannies and, ducking down under a crate. And I mean, it's very, very convoluted.
I'm trying to follow like a path and also keep an eye, like look out for the hiding people. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
It does,
So
yeah.
if-
Go ahead and throw me another blind check to represent those efforts.
yes, hang on. I don't know if perception or investigation or whatever is happening, but there's your blind check.
Okay, I would say you find several paths, but as you start looking around and trying to keep your eyes peeled for anybody, you spend maybe 5 minutes or so in here, moving around, trying to be real careful, not bump into anything, all of that. You don't spot or even hear anybody as you're making your way through this area.
All right. They're probably just the elves. I saw the elves like scatter in both directions, right? So, I don't care too much.
I don't know if you did or not, to be honest.
I feel like I saw some run to the east when they were shooting at Nezra. I don't remember exactly, but we only saw the one cultist guy, I think, who died, and then the rest were elves. So, they're probably just hiding from us. I don't care.
All right,
I come
so
back.
during that 5 minutes of time while you're searching in there, Gale, you will notice that Zeno here enters the room. He looks around the room, scanning very carefully, but his eyes seem to be locked on this trunk. So you see him kind of like looking both sides, and his eyes return to the trunk, both sides, eyes return to the trunk, that sort of thing. You notice he moves very purposefully, but not quick or slow or anything like that, until he gets up to the trunk, and you see he sort of puts his hand out on top of the trunk and just holds it there for a moment, and then you see he just kind of like taps on it, and you notice it opens, and you see this poison arrow just shoots right into the ceiling, like right over his shoulder, almost like he knew it was exactly there. And then you see he starts digging around into the trunk, and he pulls an object out that you can't really see because his body's between you and him, and you hear him say, "Oh, I see. Quite interesting that he managed to get a hold of this."
Oh, what is it? We found a few things in our travels, a mask and a wand. Is there something similar?
You see he sort of tucks it into his robe as he looks back towards you, and he says, "Yes, suppose it is something similar. This object is capable of great destruction. I will need to take this back to the council and inform them of its discovery.
Excellent. So it was very well worth your efforts. Thank you. Anything else of value?
He scans around and says, I'm sure there are many things here that are worth money to your kind if you wish to spend the time to take them. I don't see anything else that is obviously dangerous or magical.
Well, then, we're only interested in things that would help us solve the case, the mission.
Yeah, and we may have a hard time getting our banknote, so who knows?
Oh yeah, that does remind me, sir. Pardon me, sorry, but that our friend who passed away had quite the. He had the banknote of a lot of money that was helping us to buy weapons and armor and magical things to help us to fight against the cult. This is supposed to be a dragon horde, is it not? Is there a place where those type of mundane or even magical items that a dragon keeps might be around?
You notice he kind of slightly raises an eyebrow as he looks towards you and he says, well, obviously this room is not the dragon's hoard, and keep in mind that many dragons have multiple lairs. They don't keep hoards of treasure in each lair. Based on the layout of this lair, however, I can tell that the location of the true lair within the lair, if you may think of it that way, is not here. It is likely underwater, as Chotha, being a green dragon, is amphibious.
I almost feel embarrassed to ask about if we could look at the horde, because it would help us be better moving forward as we try to get rid of the cult.
If you wish to spend the time going underwater to search for it, you may. As I said, I will take you to the council once you are ready to go, but I'm sure we have some minutes to spare.
Okay, that's fine. And Spectre, did you find those two pepples that were hiding in the crates?
No, but they don't seem important to me. They'll find their way out. Do what they gotta do. Not
Are you
concerned.
sure they're just the elf peoples?
No, but I mean, we killed the worm speaker. The dragon left. Our new friend here would sense it if there was a powerful dragon hiding in human
You notice
form.
he smiles slightly as you say this, and he says, they definitely smell like elves.
Yeah, see? Not a surprise. Well,
But aren't we also missing the spellcaster in this whole fight? I heard spells going on as I was walking down the slide. Where did that spellcaster go? He's not with those elves in the other room.
did we ever see them, or were they invisible the whole time?
I don't believe any of you ever saw a spellcaster.
What about the first time?
I don't believe any of you ever saw a spellcaster.
Then that's them. Because the archers are sitting in the house where I told them to stay. But this is the spellcaster who is casting the magics.
Okay. And they're not casting magic on us now. So they know when they're beaten. If you really want to barge in there and arrest them, I guess, go nuts, but it sounds like we had what we came for.
Well, they might know where the second layer of what's his name again? Choff?
If they're an elf, as I'm gonna call him Zeno because I can never remember his dragon name. If they're an elf, they're probably a prisoner or a conscript like the rest of them. They probably don't know much. They're just being kept as a guard for this lair, which they're probably out of work now.
Right,
Dragon's not going to be too happy when he comes back, if he comes back. So if they know what's good for them, they'll clear out before that happens.
Okay. Do you interested at all in going swimming?
Not in water that I can barely see 2 feet in front of my face with all the algae and the green mist and shit.
I feel like you're a bit of a wet blanket today, Spectre. Are you okay? You seem shell-shocked, possibly.
Two-
or something.
2 people have died in the past 2 hours, and almost all of us in the past 10 minutes. And our spellcasters are out of spells.
But that's very hard for me not to walk away from going swimming to see if something is down there.
Even if I could go down there and swim, it's probably going to be too heavy for me to carry back up. That dragon is like 50 feet long, can probably lift 1,000 pounds or more. Whatever he's got down there, I'm not going to be able to carry back up, if I even can, without getting killed by whatever might be down there.
Sir,
If you are set on trying to find this lair, there's one other piece of information I can point out to you. And you see, without looking back, he just points to the south wall. There is a secret door back there that is currently blocked. Perhaps if you go that way, it will lead to the lair.
ha! Huzzah! Oh, sir, you're very wise indeed. You are my favorite dragon I've ever met. Spectre, he's found
Yeah.
a secret door.
Can I follow where he was pointing?
He points to the southeast corner, so south wall, east.
Alright, I'm gonna trust that I'm gonna trust that he would warn me if there's another disintegration ray incoming. And hearing nothing, I will investigate the door. Or
Okay.
perceive the door.
Yep, blind check at advantage since you're quite confident that there is something here. Yeah, you notice that this wall here is set up where it can shift just left to right. So if you like, you can certainly slide it.
Yes, I will slide it, and I will try to keep the door between me and the hallway behind it. I don't know which direction that is necessarily, but I will move in tandem with the door. So if it slides to the left, I will drag it this way and try to block myself.
Okay, you do so, taking many precautions, and you notice
Adam,
that
you spooked her big time with that disintegration ray.
I thought the first trap would make you guys be like, all right, we got to be really focused, but I wasn't sure. But all right, so yeah, you see a much smaller room beyond this sliding door.
Okay. Can I look for traps? Attempt
can.
to?
Yep, yeah. So go ahead and throw a blind check. As you kind of just peek into the room, it's not really adorned with much of anything in this area. It looks mostly barren. You can make something out, like at the edge of your vision. You're not sure what it is, though. You do not detect any traps in this area.
And can I probably should have mentioned this first, but can I look? I know that the disintegration ray shot like completely straight down the hallway, so can I look to see if there was any kind of mechanism, or I guess if it was a clip, it
that
would
the
be
trunk
gone.
was very close to that line.
Okay. Okay. Whatever. Alright, well. Yeah, let's quick save and then reload.
Oh, I
if
thought
this-
that was refresh.
That is quick save in Baldur's Gate. So I will slowly move forward.
F5.
I did not see any traps, so... Okay, what's this thing?
All right, as you enter this room, you notice that there is a small shrine set up here. I don't know that you would recognize this, but if you'd like to take a look at it, you can throw a blind check. It essentially resembles a pair of white eyes peering out from a dark wall above a small basin. Surprisingly, you must have heard about this somewhere before. It rings a bell a little bit. It looks like it is a shrine dedicated to Fenmeral Mestarine, the elven god of outcasts, scapegoats, and solitude. You also notice there is a small desk next to it with what looks to be writing instruments, an inkwell, a quill, those types of things.
Interesting. Well, she's an edgelord, so it makes sense that she would know about a god of outcasts and shit. So.
Okay.
So I will approach the desk. Do I see any, like, yeah, I was gonna suggest, like, if there's writing instruments and shit, he might have used this. I'm assuming it's fair to assume that this well-guarded, trapped room is probably the Worm Speakers. So I'm assuming that this is some kind of secret room he was keeping I don't know if there would be anything left here after the dragon came through here, but I'll take a look at the desk. I will check it for traps if I have to roll again, or we can use the last roll or whatever, and I will see if I can spot anything.
You do not detect any traps in this area.
Okay. So is there anything on the desk, like documents or writing or journals or anything?
There does
Or
look
any-
to be a journal here, along with some writing instruments, and it looks like, yeah, this is somewhere probably someone sat and wrote.
Okay. I will gingerly pick up the journal and hope I don't get cursed or exploded.
You are able to pick up the journal without any ill effects.
Okay. Is it locked? Does it have like a lock and key on it, like one of those fancy diaries that
not,
middle school
no.
girls have? Okay, I'm gonna pop it open and see what.
There are no unicorns on the cover either.
Fuck.
Okay, so you pop it open, and it is written in a very well, like, swooshy kind of hand style. So as you begin to read this, you notice the first couple pages are blank, but as you get a little bit further into it, it says the personal journal of Prince Fenrin. And you notice written here, it goes on to describe that Prince Fenrin, who is the son of King Melindrak, who the journal refers to King Melindrak as my poor father, and it goes on to some detail about how Prince Fenrin, while he seemingly was disappeared or no longer his whereabouts were known by the greater world, he essentially went into hiding and took on the persona, or took on the role, and eventually became known as Narenvain, becoming a cultist and ultimately a worm speaker. It goes into some detail about how angry he was that the green dragon mask was taken away from him, and it goes in again to some more detail about how, while Severin may be the leader of the cult now, due to what he has discovered, he mentions the crown a few different times. He says the power of the crown is greater than anything that the mask ever gave him, and once he learns to master it, Severin will be the one begging him for tolerance.
Okay, a lot of important information there. What I glean from that is that the Green Dragon Mask is not here, and Narenvain had something in his possession, but Truth took his body, so we can't recover that. I will bring this journal back to...
No, wait,
what?
hold on to it. We need to give that to Dahlia.
Sure.
But there should be something else further down.
You mean in the room or in the journal?
In the room.
Yeah, I'll take a look down here. Is this like a bedroom? Is there anything else in here, or is this just the shrine?
Besides the desk and the shrine, no. You assume where he slept likely was the room before, because remember
Okay.
it had that real nice fancy bed and all of that. This looks like
yeah.
it was a secret area just for him to take notes and probably pray at the shrine. But yeah, go ahead and give me a blind check as you search around this room. And wouldn't you know it, after you search for a little while, you detect another secret door on the south wall as far east as you can go.
South wall. Okay. Is it the same as the other one?
It is.
Okay. I'm assuming I'm not going to be able to check for traps on the other side, so I'm going to try to do the same thing I did before and use the door as a shield.
All right, you slide the door out of the way, revealing a massive room before you.
I'm going to find a fucking dragon in here. But I am in darkness, not that that matters to him, so I'm going to poke into this open area and just look around and see if I can see anything. You want another blind check? Okay.
You do not see anything out of the ordinary other than what you can see on the map.
Okay, it's just an empty cave room so far.
Well,
It is an enormous cavern chamber, I would say. You look up, and your dark vision is... What is your distance on your dark vision?
Just 60 feet.
I would say you barely see the very top of this cavern chamber, and there are certain areas where you don't. So you can know that this cavern chamber is at least 60 feet high, and many places, some it's a little bit higher.
Awesome. This looks very dangerous to me, like a dragon's lair. I will
just
tell
remember, these guys like to use invisibility, I noticed.
I will tell the others to back off, and I'll take one step into the room after they do. After they back off. Perhaps to like the shrine or something. So that if a line explosion happens, they're at least not caught in it. I step here.
Okay.
I see water.
I was going to say, you notice to your southwest, there is some water. To your southeast, you're looking there. You thought maybe you saw something just momentarily, but no, nothing there.
One more step. I'm gonna get fucking killed. I know it. One here.
Your footsteps, as quiet as you try to make them, it's almost impossible to stop them from echoing out in this vast, vast chamber. Very softly, you can hear them resounding off the walls and back to you.
Now that I'm close enough to see the wall, is there anything like lined up here? Like,
No, it looks like raw cabin or rough cavern wall.
I say fuck this. I think the dragon came through here, got all his shit, and left. That's what I think. So I'm turning back to the group. Fuck this. That's my assumption.
From beyond the veil, you hear, "Don't be a bitch."
I don't care what you think, Dylan. I don't want to be on character number fucking 7 like you. Okay?
Says the disintegrated guy. He's like, come on!
Wait,
From my angle, everything is safe right now. So
what did you see in there?
It's an empty cave. I think this was the dragon's lair. I think the dragon, when he came running through here, he grabbed Truth's body, he grabbed everything of value from here, and then he fucked right off. That's what I think.
He just grabbed it on, put it in his claws, and just flew away.
He probably
with all the
wasn't,
bodies and everything.
He probably wasn't keeping much here. From the description of it, it sounded like he moved in recently to terrorize the elves. Whatever Narenvain was here to do, they were doing. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I don't really keep that.
Perchi says, I haven't had 7 characters, so I'm more interested in this room.
Go, I am too, and I if we just yell for help, our friend is just right there.
Did you hide the door? I don't know where the.
It should just be an open space for you, so if you move one more space to your east, you should then notice that it's open to the south.
Okay, I didn't see a door, but I see. I'm in the room, so.
You're
No,
doing
Spectre,
great.
you're not you're
I'm
not paranoid.
absolutely
Never.
fucking paranoid.
You always are.
Somebody has to be.
Okay,
Alright, I'm gonna hug the wall.
Okay, you hear the sound of the very softly running water here. So think of this as a very, very slow current. So you can notice that the water just kind of drifts very, very slowly. And that sound, again, echoes kind of off the walls.
And I'm going to try to go quietly as well.
Okay, line check. You move as quietly as you can.
I'm going to turn invisible.
By casting a spell?
No, by putting my hood over my head.
I don't think you got that one, unfortunately.
It's as best as I can do right now.
Sneaky little kobold in a little trench coat. No one will spot him.
Adam, does this look like a bridge?
No. So what that is trying to indicate to you with those white dots is that you can dive under the water and then go into that other area, and likely this chamber connects to another chamber.
Like, for example, that big pool that we were fighting around for like 3 sessions.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Based on geometry, I think it's fairly likely.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
All right, Kurtu, as you get to lower here and looking around, you notice in the southeast is a small pile of treasure.
Can you point to where it is?
Just in that corner there.
All right, Adam. I'm going to get 30 feet to it.
Okay.
And I'm going to use Mage Hand, try to see if I can pick something up.
Sure, like a coin, or is there something specific you're looking for? Like as you eyeball it, you see a lot of different coins here, and it looks like maybe there's a potion bottle that are kind of poking out here and there.
I'm going to try not to pick up a coin if at all possible. Maybe something a little bit larger that I could actually... I'm trying to make as little noise as possible, basically, and I think coins may be a little too noisy.
Okay, sure. So you can see a potion bottle sitting by the coins, but you think probably you can pick it up with Mage Hand without causing any kind of cascade effect.
Okay, I'll try that.
All right, yeah. You grab onto one of the potions with Mage Hand. Remind me, is your Mage Hand invisible or no?
No, it's not.
Okay, so your Mage Hand floats over there, grasps onto the flask neck of this potion, and just kind of pulls it back towards you, slowly hovering as it gets closer to you. This is kind of a smaller potion, so definitely within the weight limit of Mage Hand, and yeah, it is in your hand now.
And my Mage Hand is actually pretty cool. This would surprise you not at all, but it is in the hand of a dragon claw. You know, of course.
Oh, nice.
Of course it is. All right, I'm going to go ahead and try to grab some coins, and to see if they're real and bring them up.
They do indeed seem to be real, and they come back on your hand.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead back up to the party here. Did I get a good enough look to see? I mean, I know you're not going to be able to say how much, but I mean, what did the pile look like?
A lot of coins.
Okay. So I'm going to tell them that I found this potion. Here's a few coins I found, and there's some more pile of coins, but I didn't want to risk my luck without, taking a chance of making some noise or something like that. So just see what the party suggests. And Adam, can I take a look at the coins that were appropriated? Basically stole.
Sure, you're just trying to get an idea of how much you have here?
Yeah, I mean, are they copper, gold, whatever, silver, whatever?
Seems to be predominantly copper, and then a few silver sprinkled in is what you have in your first grab.
Okay, we have lunch money is what we've got here. There's some more down there. Looks like a lot. And I got this potion, too. I don't know what it does. But there seems to be more stuff down there.
Do we have any reason to think there's somebody here?
I just thought it was odd that there's a pile there down there waiting for us. I just thought that was odd. Maybe not waiting for us, but, just odd.
It does seem conspicuous.
But the last horde from Ornfenthor, whatever, was just lying there after he ran off.
I would put it in my bag of holding, but my bag of holding has two holes in it. One on top and one at the bottom right now.
What do you think, Gale? Do we care about a pile of copper and silver?
No, I don't, but I care what's underneath it.
Yep. Do you want to go with Gale?
Alright, well, if nothing happened to you while you were down there, it's probably
Yes,
okay.
let's go.
Why do we think... They could be waiting for bigger meals. I don't know.
Like, who? Where is this gold treasure?
Well, the dragon could be waiting for us to group up.
I point down south, directly south of me. Adam, can I see any ledges or anything like that?
You do not see any ledges, no.
Okay.
Alright, then let's not group up. I will go rummage through the treasure pile. Excuse me. Thank you for pointing it out. Where do I need to go, Adam, to be next to the treasure pile?
Basically straight south. Yep, just keep going there until you're to the end of the wall. So yeah, you're looking at this pile of coins. Like I say, a small treasure hoard, meaning this doesn't fill like huge sections. It's not mountains of coins, that sort of thing. But is it safe to say you guys are spending some time just pulling things out here and see what all you find?
Yes.
I want to do
Yeah,
that.
if nothing disintegrates us, you know.
Right.
I'm a little traumatized.
It doesn't
but-
seem as though anything might do that. But yeah, you start pulling through here. So a couple of things you notice that stick out is there are some trade bars in this pile. So those of you that are familiar with trade bars, they are basically minted gold bars that are stamped with whatever city produces them. They are generally worth 50 gold pieces each, depending on if you cash them in the same city that printed them or minted them, then you'll get the face value. These all bear the symbol of Baldur's Gate. So as long as you cash them in there, 50 gold each, there are 10 of them in total. As you're looking through all the coins, you find, and I'll put this in the chat too for you, 10 platinum pieces, 120 gold pieces, 2,400 silver pieces, and 8,000 copper pieces total. You also notice 2 other potions and a scroll.
Great. Keep the shiny bits, leave the copper, grab the scroll and the potions.
Sure. No sign of Rasmus's stuff or my rapier that he had and then died with?
No.
Just asking, you know. Had to try.
Alright, we could probably get away with everything from the silver. We'll leave the copper out of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
that's too much to carry when we don't have a bag of holding, but I think we can carry the rest, right? How's your weight capacity, Gil? How heavy are the bars?
Oh, good question. I'm going to guess probably pretty heavy. Let me see if I can find a number for you real quick.
I'll see if I can carry them. If there's 10 of them, let me.
A standard gold bar is 4 by 11 by 2, and it typically weighs 28 pounds, just over 11 kilograms.
One
Right.
bar.
That's what it says. Standard bars of gold
Gold
from
is
the
heavy.
first national bullion.
Yeah, but this one here is only worth like 50
So, yeah,
gold
so what
coins. So
what I found is it said they're usually minted in silver. The gold is more rare. If it's minted in gold, then the gold variety being worth 50 gold pieces per pound. So since these are 50 each, it's 1 pound per trade bar.
So they're like little small.
Okay. I got the
I
bars.
see, there you go.
Yeah.
I picked up the 10 bars in my character sheet. 10 bars.
okay, cool.
I have, I think, 15 pounds left I can carry, so I don't know how much weight that is in
Well, I think-
coinage.
I can carry more. I'll grab those 2 potions, Adam.
Okay. I think if I remember correctly, it's like 50 coins is a pound or something like that.
Well, I will take the platinum and the gold. I don't know if I can carry all that silver.
Take the scroll there, Kurtu, and 2,400 gold. Do I just put in my character sheet and see if I'm encumbered? For the
That's
2,400?
probably your best bet, yeah.
10 and 120.
And I am not. I have the silver.
Awesome.
Yeah, so standard coin weighs about 1/3 of an ounce, so 50 coins weigh a pound.
Perfect.
All right, you have the scroll, Bill?
Yep, I just wrote scroll from Dragon Horde.
That works.
Very good. GTFO.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's go back to the dragon guy.
Okay, so you guys make your way back to Zeno, who, as he sees you approaching, you see he turns, looks at you. Once you guys confirm you're ready to go, you guys make your way back and leave the rest of this area to whatever might be here. Are you stopping by and letting the elves know you're leaving, or just getting out?
Who cares about
I
them?
will. I do care a little bit about them. I'll knock on door and say, "Okay, we're leaving. Count down from 100, and you may come out."
They say okay, and you even hear someone say, "Thank you."
Excellent. Go home and apologize to your parents.
That you don't get a response on. But as you make your way back to the tunnel mouth, you'll notice once Zeno is here by like the falling water, he confirms that you're all ready to go. You say that you are. You see he reaches out and sort of touches the water here and lets it spray all over you guys. You notice it kind of congeals with the mist from the misty forest, and you can feel the mist seemingly gather, really solidify, and it feels as though you're suddenly weightless. You can see just all around you is mist, and you hear his voice kind of echoing throughout here as he says, "This will take but just a moment. I must alert you that when you arrive, you will be right with the council. If there is any preparations you wish to make talking amongst yourselves before you are there, please do so now."
Shit, we can't go back to Altan and let them know that we did the thing?
As you ask that into the mist, you hear the response say, "Unexpected, but I can certainly send somebody to make sure that they are aware."
Fair enough. Let's go.
Yep. Good.
Oh, one minute, sir, if you don't mind. Inspector.
What?
You have that secret book thing. So try to only show that to Dahlia.
He says right in front of the guy.
No, I'm whispering with my hand over my mic, which infers that it's not for his ears.
So keep in mind, you guys can't even see each other right now. Like, you're just filled with the mist. You can hear his voice. If you like cough or something like that, you can each hear each other softly. But yeah, there's no real knowing where he is or where. Like, you don't feel like you can even really move.
Oh, well, then forget it. I say nothing. Let's go.
Let's go. It's all going to the same place anyway. She works for the council, he works for the council, whatever.
All right, and as you're thinking those thoughts in your head, Gale, you remember that you maybe picked up on something in his expression when you were talking to him before, that you weren't exactly seeing eye to eye on this statement of council, and as your vision starts to clear and the mist clears, you understand why.
Oh god. Well, see y'all in the next campaign.
You find yourself floating in this very strange like area, and you notice that your feet are touching this sort of great mist that makes up a floor that is transparent. You notice now around you are 4 dragons. You see a gold dragon, you see a bronze dragon, you see a copper dragon, and you see a silver dragon. You notice then the form of Zeno walks out from this mist, steps up onto this rock ledge, and then his form wavers, and suddenly you see a massive brass dragon there as well. All 5 of these dragons now look down towards you, and you see each of them looks at you very inquisitively as you are now before the Council of Metallic Dragons.
I take a kneel to one knee and bow my head.
You notice their heads kind of don't move a lot, but you see within their eyes, it's as though they are seeing everything around them.
I had no idea we would be in the presence of such greatness, of power, intelligence, and beauty.
Leaning on a little thick, Gale, but sure.
Ugh.
That's all I can say.
You notice after a few moments go by as you're gathering your thoughts, you notice the gold dragon inclines his head lower, bringing it closer to all of you. And he says, "Greetings, I am Protanther. Welcome to the Council of Metallic Dragons."
Is there a chance I may have heard of this name?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You notice his eyes cover all of you, looking at each one of you intently. You get this strange feeling as though you're kind of being judged, perhaps. So as you can see, I prepared this. So I'm going to move. Yeah, I appreciate, Nazri, you already moved yourself. Hugo and Harmony would technically be there since they've already been brought here. So I'm going to leave them there. And let's go ahead and get Gale on there. Obviously, you know that you're there, but just for the visual, I'll get you on there as well, Gale. All right, there we go. All right, does anybody speak up or do anything of significance?
Would not be significant, but some more alacrity and eloquence would come out of my common second language of being honored to be in the presence of such wonderful dragons.
You notice he, again, his eyes sort of scan you. You can tell the impression, or you get the impression that the other four are sort of deferring here to Protanther as he looks at you all once again and kind of just shrugs his shoulders. Each of these dragons is just absolutely massive, the largest dragons you've ever seen. You assume these are all ancient dragons based on their size. You notice the gold one once again lowers his head, and it actually comes very close to you, Kurtu, and you hear a loud sniff, and he seems a little bit like he recognizes your smell. And then he gets a little bit of a chuckle or a chortle going through his throat. And you see he looks towards you once again, Kurtu, and he says, "I would recognize that smell based on Vicalistra's description. You must be Kurtu."
Oh, yes. Thank you. Yes, I'm a Dragorn. I served for Calstra for like years. I mean, my whole life. I can't believe I'm here seeing you. Yes.
You see he nods and he says, "She misses you greatly. Perhaps we can speak along that matter more at another time. But for now, welcome to the Council. Each of you has been brought here because your group has been identified as being against the Cult of the Worm. As you can imagine, we all stand against the Cult of the Worm as well. We each have had many conversations, informally, before this council was called. Each one of us wishes to know the best way to fight against the against the Council of Worms, and we each have, or the Cult of Worms, and we each have our own ideas on what is the best way to do just that. Your group seems to be very capable and competent against facing them, and we are currently debating amongst ourselves as whether or not we should aid you, or if we should approach the Cult of the Worm on our own and take the fight to them on our own. Do you have anything to say in your defense? Any laudatory statements that you might wish to raise in order to perhaps allow us to consider fighting alongside you?"
Well, for one, if you were to help us alongside, it would show a great strength of the purpose of dragons alongside men to save Faerun or Toriel from absolute destruction. Together, it will be a good image for the world to see.
You notice his eyes look towards you, and you see a snarl and a snout from his snout, and you notice like rings of smoke come out of his nose. "Elf, tell me you are not the leader of this group."
Well, no, actually, I'm the one who stands in front and gets hit in the head a lot.
I was the leader, but there's so many good people in our group, and I stopped being the leader because we just didn't need to. We wanted to vote instead. But I will say that the challenge that we have right now, I think, with the Cult of the Dragon is that many people think it's an isolated issue. People, like way back when, like several months ago, session 1 and 2 and through 15, there was the White Dragon and we defeated them. But now the challenge is that everybody is just dealing with their own issues, not realizing the bigger problem.
Such is the way of humanity and the mortal races. Each of you thinks only about very small things and not the big picture. You can be excused because of your short lives. And then his head moves back over towards Gale. But not elven kind. You live long enough. You should be aware of the impact of your actions. Clearly, elves have not learned the great lessons.
Well, to be fair, as my mom would say, it takes longer for me to learn a lesson than normal elf.
He does not seem to be very amused or conciliatory as you say this. You get the very strong suspicion that Protanther is not a big fan of elves. But you notice now the silver dragon, Karnos, she kind of moves a bit on this ledge, and you notice Protanther just sort of leans back as though this is giving her permission to speak. And you see she now eyes your group as a whole, and she says, Protanther spoke true. We are evaluating each one of you, your group as a whole, your cause as a whole, and we wish to see if we can help you. You notice she eyes your group very carefully once again, and she has a bit of a smile. She says, I can say that based on what I have learned of your group, your deeds are great. I think that you are worthy of our trust, but convincing my kin here may take more work for you.
I'll say in Draconic then. What is it that you require to show our worth?
And in Draconic, she responds, seemingly perhaps a bit impressed with your knowledge of the language. She says, each one of us has our own aims. We each represent our own clans, and each clan has had its own dealings. So unfortunately, it won't be as easy as just one thing. I myself believe that you have already earned a spot of respect, and I think that we can aid you. Your group is made up of, and you see again her eyes kind of just scan across the group.
One less. One less.
Mostly
No, just
well-intentioned individuals.
One less. In the far distance, you hear "ooh" as somebody just got punched in the gut.
You notice the copper dragon now sort of motions, and Karnos now backs up, and she looks and she says, I was told that there was a dragonborn amongst your group. I see that is not the case. And you see she kind of shuffles. Good.
Oh, well, I'm just thinking I'm not going to say what I was thinking.
Her eyes then continue scanning the group, and they now rest very strongly on you, Spectre. And she says,
Yes, they do.
But you, tell me about yourself. What is your way of approaching the world? I have heard many interesting tales of your strategies and your tactics at defeating your enemies.
Spectre will think for a bit, and say, I wasn't born with the gifts that I was given, but I use what I have to my advantage. It's not necessarily pretty or, always on the upper hand, but I do what I have to for the sorry, Jordan's trying to think. Spectre's not stuttering, but I do what I have to ensure the outcomes that we need to keep the world turning. Does that answer your question?
You notice she leans forward now, and similarly to what you saw Protanther do, she takes a big sniff, and then she moves back as though she's somewhat surprised. Ishta, no, this cannot be. And you see she looks at you, narrowing her eyes very carefully. You possess a relic that was stolen from my horde. Care to explain how the blade ended up in your possession?
Am I... So I guess...
He's a thief. That's what it is.
The most valuable weapon I think of that I can have is the scimitar. If I pull it out, does she look like she recognizes it?
Do you pull it out?
I guess I'll tap it. If you're referring to this one, we found this in the lair of Arathidor up north in the sea of
Moving ice.
Moving ice, yeah, that one. We dug it out of the ice. He had been keeping it under a village of, I guess, Inuit, whatever the Faerun equivalent of Inuit people are.
You notice she stands up tall on the rock now, shaking her whole body, and you can see little pebbles cascade down from her. Many years ago, I defeated Varagoshra, the ancient black dragon, and claimed that blade as my prize. Then it was stolen from me by humans. And she narrows her eyes at you again. The fact that you bear the blade does not spell well.
It is a very powerful blade, but if it's yours, I mean, it's not mine to take. Would you want it back?
You notice she sort of cocks her head looking at her kin here, and she looks back to you. You would offer it to me freely.
I mean, the 5 of you could easily kill us all if you wanted to, but...
We are not killers here like humans. We are here in council. You have no threat against us. We will not harm you.
Fair point. But I have many weapons. I could buy more if I had to. If this is yours, I mean, if you want it back...
It is.
Okay. Duly noted. It has been somewhat of a help to us. It helps us achieve our goals, but if it's important to you, it's not worth a diplomatic incident over. So, if you want it, you can have it.
And you notice she reaches forth a massive taloned hand, palm up, indicating that you should place it in her hand.
I give it to her.
And you see she clasps it close and brings it in. I must confess, I am surprised. Most of your kind would go to any length to prevent themselves from giving up a treasured artifact. It is good to have this returned back to me. And you see she actually holds it close to her chest for a moment and then places it on the rock and resumes a much more casual, calm presence now in front of you. Then you notice the bronze dragon seems to take his turn as he steps forward, perhaps slightly smaller than his kin here. You notice he sort of just kind of narrows his eyes. He looks at each of you very carefully, and he says, "Truth be told, I wish to help. I know each of you has done what you can. I don't blame you for your bearings, your race, where you come from, only your actions. That is the only thing that matters to me. And I know adventurers can tip the scale of things one way or the other. I must say, overall, I've heard very good things about you. In fact, one of my great human friends has told me that you are to be trusted. You know Dala, I am sure. She speaks very highly of you and how capable you all are. If you have her trust, then you have mine."
We do, I say in Draconic. We trust her and like her company very much. She's been wonderful in support.
And you notice he inclines his head then with a bit of a smile towards you. You now notice he steps back, and then Ilathura, previously Zeno to you, now steps forward a bit. And as he looks towards you, he says, "It is true that you have done some good deeds, but there is also negative deeds in your past. The way you approach things, the way you don't seem to necessarily trust or care about each other or those you fight with, it is a bit concerning to me if I am being honest. Your mercenary type ways, for example, demanding payment from the warden of Altand in order to aid him, I don't find this to be the best behavior that I would hope to see in mortal allies. That being said, of course arrangements can be made. What can you offer us in order for us to aid you, to work alongside you in defeating the Cult of the Worm?"
I think the only thing we can offer is us. I mean, we've put our lives at risk. And many of us, I mean, I've been here since day one. I can tell you, I've lost a lot of friends because of this mission. And so there's nothing worth more. Like you said, our lives are short. I mean, what more can you offer than the lives we've already provided?
And you notice the head kind of moves a bit as you say this, and he says, "We live much longer lives than you, and we must measure our actions over a greater breadth of time. Tell me, imagine yourselves having defeated the cult. What then? What will occur?
In Draconic, I'll say, I am here because Bryn, my sister, initially fell upon this group, and she died fighting the cultists. I came here to bring her body back. I could have left months ago, but because of the plight of the people in this realm, I maintained my influence here. I could leave at any moment, but I will not. I will tell you this. If you were to work with us, and I were to help you defeat the cultists, I will pledge that I will return home to my Feywild, with good song about the metallic dragons, and Bryn's memory will be forever encased among our people. And I will let you guys rule this plane as you see fit.
You notice Eleuthera looks towards you and says, yes, of course, family, noble, makes sense. But what I mean is once the cult is defeated well and true, there will be spoils of war, of course. And there is these dragon masks that we are concerned about. What do you aim to do about these things?
If I may, my mission, I left my home just in search of Vakastra or another dragon to come that we can, serve. So, I don't know what to do about the dragon masks. I mean, but my focus is after this. I got in this by accident, and so all I'm doing is trying to bring service to the dragons.
I would suggest, though I don't know how much pull I have, that to answer the
Shut up,
direct
thief.
to answer the direct question about what to do about the masks, it's clear that the cult is keeping them well under wraps. There are many mortal people of questionable intent who would make use of them. I would suggest then that to keep their power out of the hands of the people who would misuse them. I don't know if they can be destroyed or what, but seems like the dragons would know what to do about them more. Take them away someplace where they can't be used to have something like this happen again, should it happen.
You notice Eleuthera's head kind of spins as a long serpentine neck looks towards you. Indeed, you speak wisdom. So then, would you go returning to the Council of Waterdeep and let them know that the masks should be given to us upon the cult's defeat?
I will suggest it. I will say that we're not exactly in charge of the council, but we will convey that to them, that it's probably a really good idea.
Lobby for the decision, support it, and do everything you can to make it come to fruition?
Absolutely.
Yes.
As far as we can tell, it may be a gesture of goodwill. If your council and our council work together, they might be more willing to compromise on that. But I mean, we can do what we can.
Can
all
we
I can
just
promise.
destroy them when we find them? Or do you actually want them?
What Spectre said is very true. We must make sure they do not fall into evil hands. I think we would like to see them for ourselves, make sure that their power can be undone, and then destroy them if that is the decision of our council.
Remind me what Dala told us about the masks. Were they manufactured by the cult, or were they manufactured by dragons?
I'm not sure if she ever said that. I don't know if that answer is actually known by her.
Okay.
You notice now Eleuthera will sort of step back, and Protanther raises once again as he looks at all of you and he says, "Is this all? Is this everything that you have come to speak? Is this everything that you wish to add? Is there anything else before we make our judgment?"
Let me think.
I will just say that we may be few, but we're available. That's the important thing. We're doers. So that's it.
I will say, is it? I say in Draconic. I don't know what would motivate such grand dragons, metallic dragons, to do anything. I only know what motivates me. To help us, we will fight to give you the masks, so that you may determine them causeless. It is gold you want. You can have share of the treasure and other magic items that we find if it's that simple. Pardon me, I've never spoken with Metallic Dragon. I don't know what it is you're actually asking for.
You notice Protanther moves his head in this very serpentine-like way that you've noticed with the dragons here. A share of the treasure. How large of a share do you offer?
50%.
So, of all of the treasure that is found there, you will give us half, and the rest of your council members will take the other half? Am I understanding you correctly?
You mean the other half of my group here?
And you notice his head kind of lowers and says, please do not tell me that you are so naive to believe that the human factions you deal with will not try to claim the treasure as well.
Oh, I don't know what they're doing.
Honestly,
I don't.
we haven't seen that much treasure.
I don't know what that council, the human council, we don't talk with them. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're planning. I'm only friends with Dollar.
We will. We will
So-
soon, because the cult knows our faces now, so it's in our interest to get a full involvement with the council. And
Yeah, but-
then we can...
Here's my point, Gold Master for Wonderful Metallic Dragon. I'm not in this for the money. I'm in it to get rid of the cult and these dragons. As far as I'm concerned, you can take half the treasure.
And you notice he sort of disregards you, Gale, once again seemingly not very fond of elves, as he looks to your other companions, namely Kurtu. If you can secure a guarantee from your Council of Waterdeep that we will get half the treasure, that will go a very long way into getting us on your side. As you know, we have suffered some losses from this battle. We have been working to defeat the cult probably just as much as you have, and for a much longer time. We do not want to see Tiamat brought back to this plane. That would bring chaos and war to the entire world. We have suffered, we have done what we can to fight against her. But we have seen little honest effort, little engagement, little heroic actions on the part of mortals. So, return to their council, see what you can find out, and then let Iluthura know. If you are able to secure half the treasure, and if you are able to secure an agreement from them that they will turn over the masks to us, that will go a very long way into gaining our aid.
Can I ask for one more thing, please? You're being so generous. I mean, I figured I'd ask.
He seems to look perhaps favorably upon you, Kurtu, with a little bit of a bemused look, like you might look at a pet that's doing something really funny. And he says, what is it that you would ask of us, Kurtu?
We just ask that that once we're done with the mission, because mission comes first, could you tell Vakastra to, at least come and visit, or maybe encourage another group that maybe, another dragon, if he's too busy, could come and we can serve. That's what we do. So that's all I would ask, is that you would at least spread the word that we're willing to serve a good dragon.
The Calistrid wishes to return to you. In fact, she is my mate. And once she is done with her actions here necessary to counter the cult, I think she would be more than happy to return. She has said how much she misses your clan.
That's wonderful. We thought maybe she got annoyed by us.
I don't
They just
blame
took off.
that's in my
Went
mind.
out-
That's kind of the backstory is that we thought
Went
she
out
got
for
annoyed
milk.
by us.
Nah, she
Went out for
found a
milk and never
boyfriend.
came back.
Maybe he's putting a positive spin on it.
There you go.
She was
there
like,
you
"I'll be
go.
back with some smokes. Just give me
Yeah,
20 minutes."
well,
and it's been
in my
20
mind,
years.
what happened? Yeah, what happened is she just kind of got up and left one day, and we were like, "Oh, she must really be out there looking for food or something." She never came back. So.
So you notice Protanther gives you guys sort of one last look, and with this explanation given to you to try to secure these guarantees from the Council of Waterdeep, he says, "Then I shall ask Elithura to take you back. But Kurtu, if you could remain here, I have private words I wish to speak to you."
Yes, sir.
You notice Elithura resumes the form of Zeno, stepping down from the rock and motions for you all to follow him.
Yeah, I go.
Alright, similarly to before, you notice with his hand he's motioning and summoning up this mist, this cloud, this vapor that seems to be solidifying around you, but not so much as it did the first time. You can still see one another, and you see he looks towards you all and says, "Allow Protanther a moment." And you notice he leans forward to you now, Kurtu, as you're standing here solitarily, and he gives you a smile and he says, "For the joy that you have brought my mate, and for living the lifestyle that you've had, for trying to lead the ragtag band that you have found yourself constantly with, I grant you a blessing. I bestow upon you the ability to take the form of a youthful gold dragon." And with this, he blows a very blast of air from his mouth towards you, and you can feel your form suffused, and you now realize you have the ability to take the shape of a gold dragon wormling. Those exact details will be shared with you at a later time. But yes, you can feel that upon you.
That's awesome.
I don't even know what to say, and I won't even say it for role-playing purposes because we're past the time.
And he gives you a nod as he can tell that you're grateful. You then head into the mists with your companions, and you notice Zeno motions with his hand as they get thicker, and before long you find yourselves back in Waterdeep.
Just to let you guys know, Kurtu is now a zealot. Just letting you know.
Yeah, my new character for some reason can ride mounts really well.
All right, guys. So yes, we are a bit after time here, so we'll go ahead and hang it up here. It was a very chaotic session, I'll say that for sure. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a bit of a yin yang all over the place. So we will pick up again next week. Hopefully, we will have Hugo and Harmony rejoining us at that time. Give a little bit more stabilization with the full 6 characters, and yeah, we'll go on from there. You guys will obviously have a meeting with Dala and potentially with the full council before the next event. So any last minute thoughts before we wrap it up for the night?
That was just super cool at the end. From a Kurtu standpoint and his background, he is just sitting there going, "Holy smoke!" That was kind of surprising, Adam. That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool, Adam. Is that part of the module?
So the dragons are part of the module. The part specifically with Kurtu's background is not. That's something that I worked in.
Okay,
the way
cool.
that the dragons here worked is you guys might have got kind of this idea, but basically each dragon has its own like approval meter is the way I look at it.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, that
you know,
one hated elves.
Yeah.
I was laughing.
Yeah, so the gold dragon, unfortunately, he's got a thing against elves. The silver dragon had a thing against dwarves, but since none of you were dwarves, she had no concern with your group. So each dragon basically has a different thing that kind of wins them over. And it specifically says in the module, the dragons don't prompt you with options, but you can offer them things to win their approval. So I tried to take everything you guys said subjectively and then help you work it a little bit towards maybe some of the potential options. But yeah, we'll see what you guys ultimately are able to secure from the Greater Council and then go from there.
Good job,
Sounds good.
everybody.
Good job, guys.
All right, hope you guys enjoyed that session. A lot of fun. We'll see
Yeah.
you next week. And
Good job, guys.
Dylan, you and I will be in touch about your new character.
Yeah,
New.
Next down the list.
character.
All right, have a
He's
good night,
cool.
everybody.
Later.
See ya.
Bye.
Right.